Which is it now?
Isn't it winter there?
Yeah, it is winter.
Lucky.
So we are at 11 degrees.
Celsius, which is like
Yeah, of course.
45
40.
Yeah, we don't use that.
freedom
It's our-
units.
Yeah,
I
that
wish
is our
we didn't
unit that
either.
contemplates the heating of the the burning of the paper.
Yeah. Oh, that's 50 degrees. That's pretty good.
The burning of the paper.
Yeah.
Fahrenheit
Yeah,
451.
Mangish is. Yeah, it's all your fault
That's what we
because I
should
haven't
call
been
our
playing
next
with you
game.
for a month, and now it cost me a lot to start speaking English and doing things in English.
All right. Well, we are live. Welcome everybody.
And that's why that religion is better than all of it. Wait,
No.
It's too late. We've been live for too long, Topher. Everybody
Damn.
sees the ruse. It's been a long time since we've been live on the Zweihander channel, and we're glad to be back. So this is Scarlet, Sash Stories, a show brought to you by Fiends and Friends, which is these people on the screen right now. They're all very cool. We have been producing this show for over a year now with the blessing of the Grim and Perilous team, the people who made Zweihander, and all of the subsequent powered by Zweihander games that have come out since then. Flames of Freedom, Blackbirds was just released to Kickstarter backers. There's a like Fallout style game in the works called Radiator. All kinds of powered by Zweihander things out and on the horizon. And this is episode 34 of Scarlet Sash Stories, in which we are drawing ever closer to the conclusion of this grand adventure of our Sash Bearers. Since it has been a long time, we are going to do a sort of collaborative recap. A lot happened last episode.
My butt itches.
And actually, probably a better way to phrase it is that a lot happened in the last, 2 minutes of last episode. So, let me get to my map. The Sash Bearers have been in the process of, investigating / disrupting / besieging the stronghold of the Skurzak, built atop the fallen god of the orcs. And they're doing all kinds of macabre, horrible things to the body of this dead god. And our Sash Bearers have sort of stumbled upon this with the assistance of an orc's philosopher who created a portal out of himself so that they could access this. And
what a self-sacrificing dude.
so far, it's gone okay.
Better guy than some of us.
And
what a nice fella.
there was some perimeter exploration. They met the Trash Rats, a wonderful crew of clanless Skurzak who have been thrown out with the garbage and chosen to make their own society. They then
Regular good old boys, that crew.
traveled under some
Not in that way.
some warrens underneath this facility built atop the god, and came out on the other side near the Soul Tower. And they chose to basically attack the Soul Tower, and through a series of fairly tenuous battles, eventually took the tower without anybody dying. Lillian got pretty hurt. There was some soul trading shenanigans with the
Yeah, we're having a brutal fight to our death. Meanwhile, we've got Scooby-Doo going on upstairs.
Are you gonna get to the part where the entire party turned on me? Come on.
So they're
Pretty sure
then
the entire heart turned on the party.
yeah, so there
I wasn't
was
gonna hurt any of you.
there was some deliberation deciding what to do next. And that seemed to be a bit of a sticking point with the party, is that, you know, there are so many ways that things could go wrong that it seemed like there was some hesitation to take any route. And it was finally decided on to go and investigate the Shadow Tower, or the Shadow Castle, I guess is a better word for it. Which they discovered was conveniently connected to the Soul Tower by these soul-powered portals, which is part of the experimentation that the Skurzak have been doing. And so in preparation, the final party makeup before anybody went through the portal to the Shadow Castle was Heart in the body of the towering warrior general of the Skurzak, who had been captured through a series of hijinks previously. Celine in the body of the soul scientist, with the soul scientist in tow in the body of a regular rat.
He's my friend.
And then Nesgrin, Nabeen, and Lillian in their own bodies, doing normal things. With
Not being abomination.
in tow, Ardron, Nesgrin's brother, and half of her soul in the body of a Skurzak.
You forgot
as well as Korna.
You forgot the most important
baby.
character.
The baby.
And the soul of a regular rat populated into the body of a Skurzak, who is slowly understanding what sentience is.
And I love them so much.
And so with that crew, it was decided to go to the Shadow Castle. Nesgrin went first, and then things went off the rails a little bit. Heart, I don't remember. You didn't signal. I'm trying to remember what you did, because you just went second,
He just
right?
stepped through and did some murdering.
Yeah.
Yeah, just
Stepped through and grabbed him and tried to throw Nesgrin through and then smashed the portal.
Yeah, step through.
Yeah, I tried to run away.
Well, yeah, and
Don't lie.
I'm trying to figure
Nesgrin
out.
chased after me.
or-
I tried to throw him back through the portal and destroy it.
I was trying to
Yeah.
remember, because Heart's body started to change on
Correct.
your guys' side.
Yeah.
And
Lillian
then
set it on fire and blessed it or some shit.
yeah, Lillian was able to commune with the Winter King, and was admonished for basically failing to keep Heart in line, because it was revealed previously that Heart had not banished the miasma from his physical heart, but had in fact kept it. Oh, hey, I get Lillian's token.
It wasn't me this time.
Good job, Cody.
Do we need to roll corruption for last session?
I believe we did not do that.
Yeah,
did not.
That's what I was asking, if we wanted to
Okay.
do it at the start.
Oh, not that dice. Sorry, ignore that. A 5, right in the middle.
Okay, chaos rank up. Fuck.
Order rank.
Somebody tell me what that does, because I don't remember.
Right?
Yeah, if it's less, it's order.
If it's less, it's order.
So if you
Yeah.
took any corruption last time, Nabeen, the dice that rolled a 5, oh, that was weird. Yeah.
At the top of your character sheet, there will be
Mhm.
the corruption. What number is
Yeah.
that?
1.
Yeah,
One?
so you
Okay, then you're
So I
fine.
get an order rank.
you get an order
Yep.
rank, yep.
And if
You
you
have
get
to
10,
roll
then you get a
equal
good
to
boy
or
point.
Yay.
You have to roll equal to or higher.
Yeah.
So
So at some point while this was happening, the horn started to blare for another clan invasion of the facility, because you had discovered that previous to you guys arriving here, there was some conflict between the two like primary holders of this area, the clans, Riptooth and Clawscrape, and there were at least one other clan sort of incurring on this tail swipe. And so while I don't remember exactly if it was like before Hart went through or before anybody went through, but the horn started to blare, signaling another attack. And so Skurzak came pouring in from the tunnels and from the northeast of your guys' position. And the rats of the facility seem to be preparing for defense. And then at some point, Nesgrin went through, Hart went through, and Hart decided,
No, you're missing a part.
What part am I missing?
You're missing a part. So the soul swap happened, and then we saw that my body was
So you
doing something crazy.
You requested that Celine put you in the general.
Correct. And then that started making my body change because I was no longer, I guess, inhabiting it to keep the miasma in my heart at bay.
Yeah.
And so I made a decision that I didn't want to give up all of that power. So I took the heart out of my body because I didn't know if there was any way to save myself.
I tore your heart out, ate it.
And then I tried to run away through the portal.
That was the bit that I was missing, because I was like, how did the people on the other side of the portal know something was wrong? I took my heart. Yeah.
Took a huge bite out of it and tried to run away.
Yeah.
And Nesgrin
like a
followed
lunatic.
me.
Yeah, and so
I didn't follow you.
I didn't attack any
Nesgrin
of
was
you.
the first one in.
Nesgrin was there.
You came in after Nesgrin.
Yeah, Nesgrin
Oh,
was
that's
there
right.
first.
So
Yep.
I was trying to run away and then came face to face with Nesgrin. Tried to throw him back through the portal so that I could destroy the portal and get away.
Yeah, unfortunately, Nesgrin is a kung fu grandma, and so resisted the attempt.
Yeah.
Babushka.
Yep. And
now hard. Its soul is locked inside one of the weapons.
Yeah, and then Nate came through the portal and soul sucked me. So
yeah, I got a critical success, and then you tried to do something and got a crit fail.
Yeah.
Got you locked in.
So, where we stand right now, if we look at in the lower part of this map that you guys are on, is that you are in a fairly small tower of some kind. And the bottom floor, the floor beneath you is wooden. There is a single normal door that exits, and the portal behind you. And Hart is currently in the soul reservoir of the experimental weapon. And the other four of you are not tired, because you did make camp at the Soul Tower, but some of you, especially, I think Lillian is still 2 steps down on the damage track, as well as any other ones of you who took damage during that fight probably haven't been able to heal yet.
I actually am only 1 step down because after rest, I then took one of the drugs that gave me the corruption.
That's right, yeah.
I only have twisted ankle, and I'm drinking. I use a tincture.
Yep.
Day.
And someone
on the effects of that tincture.
Did someone get a concussion as well? And
I still have that from forever ago.
Yep, you are still concussed.
Yeah, like an idiot.
I can't re-roll Fury dice or something like that, or I can't even roll Fury dice.
On any sort of physical attack, you don't roll a Fury die.
Yeah, so I can't do anything unless I cast Magic Missile, and I'm running out of those.
Yeah. So things are great for the Sash Bearers right now.
Yeah, that's okay, because I have a new gun.
Yeah.
It doesn't need Fury die.
Well, you can use a tincture. Avoid the
Yes, you can
effects of the
ignore
injury.
the effects of the injury if you use a tincture, but it also does give you 1 corruption. Because you're
Whoa,
doing
1 corruption.
drugs.
Well, first things first, Celine's gonna be like, we need to burn the body since, well...
We did.
I
No,
mean
I
the
mean the rat
big
body.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
the general body,
I'll
because
put
he
it-
ate his own heart, so we don't know what's gonna
Yeah.
happen from here.
Can we take it and throw it on the other pyre? I imagine that one's still going.
That's back through the portal.
Yeah.
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 Or is the portal broken? I can't remember.
The portal is still open.
So,
Yeah, we'll just take it back through. Throw it on the pyre.
I have a question.
The portal has like energy, like it starts depleting.
No, that's the big portal.
Yeah.
The one
The
that
big
we
one?
used to get here.
Okay.
So
Yeah,
not the little
Celine,
one.
Unlimited use is the pass through, but the thing is, the moment you like turn it off, the soul is destroyed. Like, because they're just like, we don't care, we have unlimited.
yeah.
You're
So
saying,
that Celine was able to figure out that the energy or the technique that the Skurzak are using for these is so efficient that a little Skurzak soul can power an infinite use portal. But the Skurzak have basically decided that that's fine. We'll just use a new Skurzak every time. And so when you close the portal, it just vents the soul, which is sort of horrible to any normal person. But to the Skurzak, it's just another cost of, doing what Skurzak do. So the portal is still open behind you guys. The sounds of combat grow ever louder, even through the stone walls around you. You hear trumpets and sort of the faint rumbling of feet on stone and that sort of thing.
Cool, so we gotta be quick.
And you don't hear anything from this building, I guess, is the best way to describe it. Because you know that there's a door sort of on the northeast side of this circle. You don't really hear anything that way. It's just sort of to the outer walls or whatever. I have a question. And I'm trying to remember the exact sequence of events, but I don't think that Celine has ever traveled through a portal while having a soul in the gun. Is that correct? Because you took the general's body and that sort of thing.
He came through as I went through, and I was like, oh shit. And so I went back and talked with them and did it there. So no, I technically have not.
Okay. I just wanted as a point of remembrance that had not occurred yet. So yeah, there are a host of things that you can do now.
So we agree to take the body through and burn it. Now Celine says, what should we do with Heart? And Cody and I already have a decision, but we talked about it before. But so, like, as a party, it's something she will bring up to the group. So
who's carrying this massive body back through the portal?
I can drag it through. I walk through, drag it back through.
It was determined that inanimate objects do go through the portal, just like living things. Because a rock was thrown through the philosopher portal.
Yeah. So I'm gonna
guy's
drag that.
three times larger than any of you.
Yeah,
but
he's a big boy.
I'm strong as hell.
Bedroom's there too, so
yeah, he can help.
Fish.
If you cut it in half, it will wake Hart.
Yeah, there you go. We'll flop the
Might take a while
legs
to
on the
commit
fire.
path.
No, we'll drag it. We'll drag it through. Throw it on the
Yeah.
fire quick.
Yeah, because we don't want to like cut it and put it on the fire. That would be like mean.
I just mean to take forever to chop it up. Otherwise,
be
Celine
time
would be
consuming.
down.
Yeah, I know. Joking.
Uh,
Okay, I help Lillian take.
So
the
Lillian
body
and
to the
Nesgrin
fire. Yeah.
begin dragging the body to the portal and going through to presumably put it
Okay.
on the fire
Oh,
that
wait,
consumed Hart's
The
other body.
Argrim is there. Argrim is a big boy. He could carry.
yeah, that's
Argrim,
true.
Oh,
he's
yeah.
useful.
Let
Alright.
me.
He's like a normal rat
Yeah.
guy.
No.
Not
no,
like a
he
baby. Not like he's like a normal Skurzak
No,
guy, right? He's
yeah.
not ripped, is
no,
he?
He was
He
like
was
a
in
rat
one of
ogre.
those special ones or whatever
Yeah.
that's
Oh, was
hanging
he?
on the wall. Yeah.
Yeah.
Were
They've
those
got
stronger?
like the armor or whatever.
Oh, I thought those
Uh,
were
one
They're
of the
weaker.
big ones.
stronger, but they have like the armor stuff
I
similar
thought
to
they were like
Science
all
Guy, don't they?
emaciated.
They were.
He was
If
one of the
if
tiny
I
ones.
miscommunicated, they were supposed to be just like fairly normal.
Oh, okay.
They were like encased in machines.
Okay, that's what it was.
yeah.
That threw me off then.
Yeah.
okay. So
So-
he.
But
ain't
yeah,
a
he
big
can.
boy.
He still is, plenty strong. He can help.
Yeah. So there's Corn. And let's do Ardron.
As far as what to do about it, I look at you and cross my arms, and I say, he's a liar, a rogue, and corrupt to his very core. I say we put him in this portal thing, and we vent it.
I'm inclined to agree.
As am I.
Okay. So order of operations.
Okay, we vent the current portal
Well,
to
so-
clear out the soul.
Well, there's
that's in it,
other
right?
portals. We don't have to do that.
Yeah, and
Sure, that's true.
Hunter wants
Yeah,
to
that's
know
true.
when we do this.
Yeah, because
So are we doing this after going through or before?
Well, you
My
can't.
thought was before.
Basically, in my head, everyone is still in the tower, and I want to get
Yeah.
an exact sequence of.
No, because Nate's where I was. Nate came through the portal to Soul
Yeah,
Stone.
sorry. Let me be.
No, we-
let me be.
Yeah.
Everyone is still
Castle.
right here.
Shadowkeep.
Oh,
Yeah,
I see.
Everyone is still here, and you're
Here where?
discussing
Where are you pointing?
in the
Yeah,
lower
you don't know
left,
where you're looking at.
Southwest.
the
Scroll
lower
down
left
and
corner.
left.
Yep.
Oh, down here.
The
Okay.
little
Yeah.
room. Yeah, the little room.
So this
Okay, yeah,
is
yeah, I
this
got that.
is on the Shadow Castle side of the portal.
Yeah. Yeah.
And you
yeah,
guys
yeah,
are
yeah.
all hashing out. Nesgrin says, "Oh, Ardron can help drag the big boy." So Lillian says we should vent him on the other side, and then you
Or
guys.
I get anywhere where we can access the vents.
Yeah, and so you cannot access it here. This
It's only
is
through the portal.
yeah, this is simply an open door or whatever. The controls are all back at the Soul Tower.
Mhm.
And so I guess my question is, are people going to drag the body through and then Celine follows?
Yes, Celine plans to follow after
And
they get through.
is this like an everybody come back and we'll do this, or is like Nabeen and Korna gonna stay here?
Do we think he's won't be able to recuperate if we? put him in
We want to
another
get the body. Celine can say we want to get the body like destroyed as fast as possible because I was able to force my way out of the gun, and I don't want him to do the same. So Celine is basically has the gun at the ground, not pointed at anyone currently. So
Okay, but I think Hart won't be able to return to his former self.
well, that's the whole point of burning this body because his body's
Yeah,
burning
but-
with special holy fire and then purging his soul.
Yeah,
We-
and so Lillian
we
has
don't
But
think
we are
he can go
purging his
back.
soul, so we're like,
Yeah.
killing him forever. So
Yeah.
Yes.
we put
would
him
be
in
the-
another body, in a body that isn't like, let's say, it's sick. Make my life easier. I think that we could be able to save Heart, at least save his soul.
I don't think he should have a soul.
Wow.
Grind it into dust.
Wow.
He just betrayed us and tried to kill us.
And
I
I
didn't
found
attack
out
any of you.
Celine came through. She's like, "You don't have to do this," and you roared at her, and she shot you. You aren't like listening to reason. You
were
all she
acting
knew was
like
you
an
attacked
animal.
Nesgrin.
Doesn't mean I attacked any of you.
What you were saying is like all meta stuff. She has assumed you turned on us and was out to kill us, even because you never had a chance to attack Celine. You growled as she like tried to talk you down, and so she shot at you, and that was it.
You guys betray your friends really easily.
You have lied and betrayed to me ceaselessly since the moment you made a solemn vow to me.
I like the
You
idea
lied
that
to God's face, and I found out about it.
Just taking my meta betrayal from Hunter out on Heart.
Heart's soul is just in the gun, just crying and feeling abandoned.
Good.
You turned on us. You
I
without
didn't though, I was running
explanation.
away.
Your soul is writhing with black mire.
You ate
My
your
soul
heart.
isn't. My
Joker.
body that you burned was.
When
And
you
you
were
ate your
in a
own
soul, when you were in a soul, there was talk of you having this still within you. I don't believe for a second that it's only physical, or that the decision to keep it was only physical. You made the active decisions to fill yourself with evil, and then given the opportunity to purify it, you chose not to. I don't even know all of those details.
let me get the blackboard out and we'll
Power is not evil inherently.
Oh no, yeah.
It's how you use it.
Yeah, it's really true. And you used it to eat out the heart out of your own former chest, try and shove your friends and abandon them in a foreign realm. Yeah.
How does eating my own heart hurt you?
With great power
Yeah,
comes
again.
great responsibility.
Emotional damage.
Yeah.
emotional
It was
damage.
pretty jarring. I'll be dreaming about it for the
Celine
next
was
years.
all for you eating that shit and changing, but the moment you turned on her is the moment you mean nothing to her.
But I was sure he turned on us.
Yeah, I don't remember
Because
this
it- because-
growling at you thing.
Oh, I
There-
do because I tried to
there-
talk
yeah.
you down.
Run away.
I'm
there
like,
was
you don't have to
certainly
do this. Why are you doing this? Like, stop. We're your friends, and you're just like, ah. And so she shot you. That was why she shot you. She tried to talk you down because she couldn't care about the miasma stuff. She encouraged it, and then you turned on us. She saw you attacking Nesgrim. You growled at her when she tried to talk with you, and that was it.
which I
I
mean
want to try to reach
there's
out to
I was
I
gonna
want to
say
try to
that-
reach out to Celine's mind from inside the gun.
Okay. Yeah,
Oh.
roll incantation. I was gonna say there's certainly now is not the time to do it, but should be an examination of Celine's just absolutely mercenary outlook on literally everything.
She's coming around. It's been a slow process.
So Selim was helping Heart get the miasma, and now that he betrayed us in a way,
Yeah.
now she's like angry.
It's not that she was helping him get it,
Dang.
she encouraged him to do it.
Whoa.
What?
She
You
never helped him
literally
get it.
applied it to him
Yeah.
When?
during your
speaking.
lovemaking.
During the fornicating.
Yeah.
I don't think I did it during then.
I remember
Yeah,
you
you did.
specifically saying, "I take the miasma out and rub it across his bare chest."
I don't remember saying that. I could be wrong, but
Neither, but I might have just blocked it out.
Yeah, that seems like the kind of thing that I would block out, both in and out of character.
like, because I wouldn't have said. I feel like I would have said something like rubbing it on his chest, but like fooling around with it, maybe. But even then, that is hers.
Don't you have to have incantation to use it? I don't have that skill.
Normally you do, yes.
You flip to fail.
So should I be using a different skill like willpower or something?
Not in this instance. This is the realm of like the winds of magic, and so you are basically trying to express yourself through magic. As
Besides,
just a
rubbing
soul.
it on his chest wouldn't have done anything. Celine's
I
don't know that.
I have a pretty distinct memory of narrating
It was pretty graphic.
how the miasma entered Heart's various orifices during your
Yeah, it was pretty graphic.
yeah.
So you all, except for Cody, remember this then?
No, I don't
There-
remember. I blocked it.
We can go
Only
and look.
Only Hunter and Topher remember this.
Everyone else blocked it.
I think it may have been. We
Conversation.
got done with
I just wanna
the
point out that
discussion and they just went and RP'd themselves a little bit
Yeah.
afterwards.
Maybe they
This
did.
is recorded. We can go back and watch
We can
it.
look at the VOD, but I remember you requesting that the miasma be part of it. Like part of your
Yeah.
guys'.
I do remember
You throw the
that.
stone and
Yeah.
then you're hit in the
I
hand.
don't remember
So,
details.
returning to Heart, do you think, because as we know, the miasma is like a living thing, because it's like something like a fungus. So it possibly has a conscience of its own. So maybe it wasn't purely Heart, has intensified part of Heart's character, his personality in a way that will be beneficial to the miasma itself, and well, ended up
Nacho,
like,
have you been
yeah.
reading Hunter and my secret chats? Like you're telling all the secrets.
So,
I do like this line of thinking, but I will say that I haven't made any of this up.
no, you're still in it right now, right? So I don't know. I don't think we should jump to try his soul right now. I think we will have more pressing things to do. We could pass judgment later on him.
The
because I
voice
think
of reason.
we will
So
rush
Nesrin-
into a decision that it will be with us forever.
So Nesgrin is against it. Us
And-
purging his soul.
Yeah, seems
No,
to think
let's purge
that
it, Pat.
that Hart could be saved, and that maybe it's not entirely his fault, and could be partially the miasma's fault.
So we get him a fresh body without miasma.
Yeah.
What does Corna think? She knows a little bit about miasma.
She furrows her brow a little bit and looks to Lillian, and she says, "Do you remember what you said to me before I almost took my final step?"
I knew this was gonna come back to bite you.
That you had a choice to walk away from evil and be better.
I'm not saying that
Song.
it's the same, or that we aren't already past that line with Hart, but don't you think that maybe there's still a chance for him to make that choice?
It's not only not the same, it's the opposite. This is if you had told me, I don't care what you say, and you did it anyway. No, worse than that. If you had said, you're right, you know what? I am going to turn a new leaf. I don't want to be a monster. I don't want to give in to my base instincts, and you had let us leave and done it behind our backs anyway. And then just to rub it in, done it 2 or 3 more times, lying to our faces about it.
A soul gun canister be removed?
No. As far as Lillian can tell, or Celine can tell, it is a self-contained unit.
Yeah.
What if Hart save us from something else? From the miasma taking full control of its body because it's a living thing.
Why didn't he communicate with us? Why did he snarl at me? Why did he attack you?
He doesn't
Why
know
did
how
he
to
do
talk
all of this?
because he doesn't know how to talk. Your
He
body.
knew how to talk. He talked to us in the giant general body.
I don't know.
I asked him what he wanted to do with his body
He says,
because it was spasming. He's like, "Let me see it," and freaking ripped out its heart and it took a bite out of it.
That is true.
maybe he was hungry.
For his own heart, where the miasma likes to latch onto. Korna knows about that. We watched Korna pick that shit apart.
Okay, so do we have a way to? Oh, we have like 3 options. Kill his soul. We could keep it in a gun, and if it doesn't escape, or we could just find a way to contain it somewhere else.
And I mean, when I like to think that when Nesgrin says that, you hear the little tinkling of rat feet in a glass jar on Celine's belt.
Okay. I check it out. What's going on?
You just
Just that
are
you're just thinking about it.
you just are
okay.
reminded that there are.
Isn't there a guy already in that one?
There's a guy in that one.
I have multiple jars.
Yeah, and Celine has lots of jars. Just the idea that like previously you have put souls in dead bodies. I believe Celine has done that just because she thinks it's funny.
She wanted to get rid of the souls because she knows they can get out because she got out.
Yeah, but you were told
There was-
in no short
Yeah.
terms that putting a soul in a dead
That's
body
true.
is like eternal agony for the.
Yeah, that is true. Because there was the one I did that with on a cuz, and I just shot it in there just cuz. The general, I knew I need to just get rid of this,
Yeah.
and he was in a panic and rushed it down there and shot it into the body. I don't think she hadn't learned about the purging yet, and she had considered pulling his body out to purge it, but she is very worried about
Yeah.
like doing that. Like she's worried something might happen in the transfer because she could feel his anger while he was in there.
Yeah, and so,
So-
when Nesgrin says, maybe there's some other way, the group of you
Oh, well,
probably
yeah.
have a short conversation about like, oh, we've
could
put
put in a
souls in
rack.
dead bodies and they stay there forever and experience what it is to decay into atoms. And we've put souls in, small creatures that can sort of be contained easily. That kind of thing.
Are there any potato bugs crawling around anywhere?
Looking for it.
Christ.
So it seems like, you want to be a bug?
What if you add your soul and 2 souls coexist in the same body?
They can.
Yeah, and then they
I
sort
did
of
it.
fight for supremacy
I
of the
mean-
body.
Like I did because I wanted control. We don't know what happens if they live peacefully. If you vouch so hard for Hart, I could put him with you for a while.
How long do I have to wait before I can try to reach out to Celine's mind again?
A little bit longer, probably.
He did crit fail on whatever that incantation was.
Well, he just rolled another one that didn't crit
40.
fail. Yeah.
Oh, I rolled a
that one.
46.
Okay, my bad.
Yeah.
I see.
So yeah, sure. Good. Have a soul. Have 1 soul and a half.
Did we know that you had your brother in your head for a while?
Yeah.
yeah, sorry,
At
I
least
didn't-
some
I
of the
didn't-
party knew.
Yeah, I knew that.
Yeah.
Okay, so Celine kind of thinks about it and takes that into consideration, and she's just like, "Okay, zap."
Oh Jesus! Now I'm in his body.
Yes.
So as
Whose body? I'm in
Nesgrin's.
Nesgrin's her body. Yeah.
So Art, if you do anything shitty of my body, I kick out my half brother, I could kick you out too.
and I
Don't
do
screw me.
want to, before you say that,
Me or
Celine? Before you say that, Nesgrin. So Celine raises the gun, says, "All right, zap, this dark circular room that all of you are in is illuminated by this green bolt of lightning from the tip of the gun to Nesgrin's body, and it sort of freeze frames where you're all like kind of aware that something like it's like your brain kind of skips a beat. Heart, roll me your incantation.
If I stand in front of Lillian, can I dodge it?
Not right now.
No.
Cody didn't like the idea.
I would be so pissed. I would be so
That would be very bad.
violently furious. I
So-
would destroy his soul myself.
So in this like frozen moment of time, Heart, you are this bolt of lightning traveling through the air. And you think, okay, I need to tell Celine something. Right? That's what you're trying to do?
I want to project a feeling of sadness and remorse to Celine's mind.
You like in the way that the winds of magic sort of are like intent sort of made into energy, you project that and something helps you. Almost like the slightest wave of a hand passes through you as this like bolt of green lightning. And even though you failed this incantation test, there was a hidden modifier, and you rolled low enough to make the test with the modifier. You project this feeling of intense sadness and remorse, and it is, when you feel this, Celine, it is intensely like heart flavored, like the sort of like all of the times Hart had to apologize for being uncouth or dunderheaded in social situations sort of washes over you very briefly. And in this sort of freeze frame, green illuminated moment, runes light on the interior walls of this tower that you're standing in. They flash blue and fade away just a little bit as the bolt of lightning strikes Nesgrin, and Heart is soul transferred into Nesgrin's body.
So Celine kind of gags for a moment. She's like, "Oh God, I remember these feelings. I hate this."
And you know that it was from Heart. So you
I know, but she does not like. She has gone through these feelings of like remorse, and she hated it so much. And so now it's like some coming from like Heart or something. So she's kind of like, "Oh God, not again."
And all of you saw these like each of the stones of this tower sort of had a single magical rune on it that alighted when you fired the gun and Heart went into Nesgrin's body. And so Nesgrin, you feel Heart's soul. It is not dissimilar. It is very similar to what it was like when Ardron had briefly harbored within you. It fits way worse because it's not, the half of your soul that is your brother. It's Heart's sort of boisterous, conflicted presence. But you are, for better or for worse, fairly practiced at containing extra spiritual beings, and so you can kind of cap it.
Will be more like
That's not a skill he ever thought he'd need.
just to contain things like different personality than my own.
Yeah.
Or like that.
And you're sort of always able to hear Heart or feel what he's feeling at least a little bit, but you can, for now, contain it.
Does he experience the same like sadness and stuff that I?
Yeah, it's like
projected to
a
Celine?
very faint sort of like back of the head, like, oh, heart's sad. That's too bad.
Oh, think to that. How many corruption do you think?
Just one. This is sort of like an
Mhm.
altruistic sort of thing. So it's not necessarily too far against your,
Yeah, myself.
yeah.
But it will be like they have some effect, cumulative corruption effect on me. Or having something like
There will
different that
certainly
we could do
be,
something later.
yeah, there will certainly be moments in which this could be a problem.
Yeah.
All right, Lillian, you had a thought?
I stride over to Celine in reactively. So as soon as this happens, I stride over to you and I slap you square across the face.
She's just like, yeah, I deserve that.
You are responsible for the consequences of this action. Both of you. I wash my hands of it.
No, you don't wash it. You're here.
Look at Nesgrim.
I
Oh.
love the like pseudo parental roles that
And I
Nesgrin
say-
or that Lillian
I say in
and Celine.
Nesgrin's.
Maybe
I say in
I said you-
Nesgrin's. Hold on. I say in Nesgrin's head. When was the last time she washed anyway?
I let like swept out, but not like not exactly the whole phrase, but like
Like a little
bit of the
mumble of
word.
Hart's voice.
Yeah. yeah, but you don't hear when you when you hear you don't hear a complete sentence, but you get the meaning.
Yeah, yeah.
You know, like it's
Under
will be
the
like
breath,
code-
kind of.
Yeah, under the breath, kind of like I will be like, what did you say, Hart? Again?
When was the last time she washed, anyways?
Yeah, I will be like, when she was. But do you remember that show Malcolm? That the little brother when he lied?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, yeah. Yep.
It will be the same. Something like that. It will be. So,
You keep
yeah,
him in line, Nesgrin.
I will keep him in line, but maybe you should think that maybe I should help. I save you from one of your worst mistakes. Think about it.
He was my worst
What's your
mistake.
goal?
Let's go.
No, kill him.
Hey, we
Destroy
still
his
got things
soul
to take
will
care of.
be-
There's
Let's
a body
go.
that anyone can inhabit, and we need to deal with.
You will be
That is full of
forbidden. You
miasma.
will be forbidden godly retribution on his soul. He will never be able to pay for his crimes. The other way, you should know this better than I do because I don't like your gods because they're all crappy. But you should know better.
I love how
Maybe-
Nesgrim is just like lecturing
Sure.
Lillian.
So you're saying that my act of mercy destroying his soul was too kind. You got to give him
No.
plenty of time to burn in
I
hell.
think-
Is that the idea?
You should not be able to judge people here. You don't know the whole
I
story.
can't-
You need more.
I can't emotionally convey that I was essentially told to pass judgment by my god while burning a pyre. That like I'll say I will face retribution from my god for the kindness that I showed him already. And we will deal with that as it occurs.
In this
The
group.
hounds are after us now. And I mean that literally.
Those puppies.
Some big ones.
I'm being
Oh.
very, very heretic right now. So
It's a little bit of heart coming through.
Yep.
We've got ground to cover. We got to get out of here before this war destroys us.
yeah.
Cool. Burn the body.
Yeah, already done. Burned.
Okay,
Burn.
they'll go burn that. While they go do that, I want to scan with which site this room because of the ruins.
Okay. So Lillian and your moving crew, you go back through the portal, right? Okay, so you and Ardron presumably drag this giant.
Sorry.
Oh, go ahead.
Sorry. What do we do with the hard body? To be burn it? I don't
It is
remember.
Yes.
Yeah. So on the
Holy
other side of
fire.
the portal, Lillian did a consecration to destroy the miasma.
I don't remember.
Um,
Very good.
So you and Ardron go through the portal, and then while you're in transit, Celine uses Witch Sight to scan the walls. I won't make you roll to cast the spell, but roll to read the runes.
All right, just incantation.
Yeah.
Okay, any bonus or negative?
This will be just flat.
Okay. Incantation, right then. Doobie-doop, a success.
So you put on your blindfold and begin looking around. Lillian and Ardron and the body of the Skurzak general arrive on the other side of the portal in the top floor of the Soul Tower. The first thing that is immediately apparent is that there is active combat or something happening downstairs. There's screaming and clattering of metal and leather and wood. It occurs to you that what's probably happening is the tail swipe raiders are slaughtering the trapped Skurzak in their cells, just stabbing them through the bars and that sort of thing. And you see, when you arrive on the other side, lugging this giant body, that there is would be comical in any other sort of circumstance, a heart-shaped sort of like pile of ash on the floor, where his entire corpus has been consumed by this holy fire, and there isn't even the faintest wisp of smoke left.
Oh, so it is fully burnt out.
Yeah.
Please.
Dang, thought that would burn longer than that.
That's right.
I have oil and whetstone on me. I guess I can try to get one going quickly.
So you and Ardron haul this body a little bit away from the portal. You douse it in oil and try to spark a flame on it.
Yeah. I think that's probably the best bet.
Roll me coordination.
Coordination.
What's hard sword?
Oh yeah, Heartsbane.
Yeah, so that would have been
On the big rat.
yeah, up to you guys.
In transit.
We can
Hard one of
retcon that someone asked to leave it on the other side of the portal.
Yeah.
And so yeah,
Can you assist in coordination?
Me?
If he has
Yeah.
it.
Ardron
You
can.
have coordination?
Point in it.
I'm pretty sure I can assist you in coordination.
I have an
so,
okay stat in it.
Yeah, I can do
Nesgrin,
it. I
did
have
you
54.
go through the portal with the body, or did you stay on the other side? Because I had not thought that you went through.
If they don't need any help, I won't be able.
Yeah, that's
to.
probably If
Yeah.
Ardron can help me do it, then that would probably be fine.
I will allow Ardron to help. The sounds of combat and approaching footfalls grows louder as you and Ardron hurriedly douse the body and try to spark it to flame and succeed. You strike your flint and steel and catch just the dousing of oil. He erupts into light flame as you hear the shouts and clattering approaching up the stairs.
All right, let's get the hell out of here, Ardron.
And he
I rush back through.
He looks at you terrified and nods. And
As soon as I get to the other side, I'm shouting, Celine, they're already raiding the tower. We've got to shut this portal off. Is there anything we can do?
there's a fairly obvious kill lever that
On this side?
that functions just like the ones on the other side, where it sort of closes
Okay,
the door and disperses.
Oh,
the
I wasn't
portal.
expecting that.
Yeah, me either. All right, I step through and I look back and I shunt it.
And I don't even remember what soul you used to do this, but it
It was the scientist, right? One of the scientists?
I think it was one of the zealots or whatever, yeah.
Oh, yeah, right. Not the scientist. We still have him.
So I grabbed hard sword.
Actually, I think it was the slave rat because I knew
It
Oh,
was a slave rat, yeah, it was.
That's fucked up. I
we
didn't
were
know
out,
that.
and she was still scared to pull the general out of the one body.
Yep.
So
Yep, so the slave rat soul dissipates
Yeah.
into the winds of magic. So Nesgrin has Heart's Bane.
Yeah, I'm going to put it on my weapons list.
So you are reading the runes on these cobblestones used to build this temple, or not temple, tower, Celine. And immediately you are familiar with warding language. You know, what you might use to build like a summoning circle or prevent magical incursions or that sort of thing. There is some very specific language here, though, that has been written to, like, bolster the defenses of this ward. And you have basically found out that this tower that you're in, for some reason, is heavily warded against any agents or spells or effects that may originate from the Prince of Change, the demon prince, one of the demon princes, who you are passingly familiar with based on your recent studies.
do I know if the Skaven like normally are worshippers of him or anything?
Just Rax. I don't use that one.
Roll.
Sorry, Skurzak.
Yeah.
Skurzak.
Yeah. Roll.
Of course I have it.
Folklore. And just
Do I get a bonus being in this guy's body since he would probably know?
yeah,
Or-
we'll do a 10 bonus.
Okay.
Actually, do a 20 bonus.
Okay. Success.
You remember when you were having a conversation with the person who owns this body when he was in this body? He mentioned that the whispers of the Prince of Change have been around or like present in this area recently.
Hmm.
I believe what he said something to the effect of, oh, maybe it is true that the hand of the Prince of Change is active here or something like that.
Okay.
And so that combined with the everything that you've seen today, or seen on this incursion, I should say, you get a pretty good sense that the Skurzak and the Prince of Change maybe don't specifically cooperate or have like an established relationship, but the Skurzak have always, you think back on all the conversations you had with the soul scientist and the thoughts that you saw in the general's body, they strive for change, for achieving perfection, for learning everything there is to learn about any given, topic, at the very expense of like their fellow Skurzak. They will sacrifice dozens upon dozens of young Skurzak to answer, a simple question of is this poisonous, or how can we make this weapon better? Well, let's test it on other Skurzak, that sort of thing.
Okay.
So they are entwined. Maybe not intentionally, but certainly where one acts, the other is known to be.
Okay. All right. She'll take off her blindfold and just be like, okay, well, whenever we're ready, we should move.
Where did you leave your body?
I believe
Oh, it's
someone is
with-
carrying it.
Yeah. I can't remember if she's got it or had somebody carry it, but she made sure to bring it through, so.
Okay.
And maybe
Well,
Corna is carrying Celine's body just nicely.
Okay. So where was the door here?
Yep, the door it's this sort of crudely drawn rectangle
There.
right here.
Okay, I go there. And here something on the other side.
No, it's save for the sounds of combat outside. This door is basically silent, even without an eavesdrop check or anything like that.
Does it open to the outside or inward?
It opens into, like, you can push it open and it's an interior space. It's more of the castle.
Okay, so I just open like a little bit and peep, and then if I don't see anything,
You don't see anything, like, when you peek out, there's nothing that immediately alerts you. It's very dark, but you don't see movement or hear anything rushing at you or anything like that.
okay, well, let's go.
So you step out into a hallway, and as you... Where's my reveal tool? As you get your bearings, something does become immediately concerning as sort of the rest of the team begins to file out behind you. You step out into a hallway that is lined with doors of all shapes and sizes, and not only are the walls lined with doors, there are trap doors on the floor and the ceiling above you, sort of randomly interspersed down this hallway that you cannot see either end of because of how dark it is. And this sort of sets the hair on the back of your neck on end, because this is unnatural. There's something very strange about this space that you have stepped into. And the rest of you get that sense as well as you presumably file out behind Nesgrin.
This is
Can I like roll scrutinize maybe?
Yeah.
A little more, because I don't think something that would be more.
Give it a
doable.
good looking. Give it a looking check.
Yeah. I don't know. Scrutinize maybe.
Yeah, scrutinize would work.
Plus
And
10 flat?
just a flat, yeah. The depiction on the map is not like 100% accurate or to scale. So Nesgrin, you are looking around and you're like, what the hell? And you sort of inquisitively pull like one of the closest doors to you open and look, and it opens into just like stone wall. And you shut it and you walk over to one of the trap doors and sort of creak it open, and it is just floor underneath the trap door. And as you do this, all of you hear just the faintest whisper of a laugh come from the walls and the floor and the ceiling.
Are there any like
We are
old
trapped.
stories or tales that would talk about rooms like this?
Give me a folklore check, Nesgrin. Nabeen, not Nesgrin.
The bean is back, baby.
Mrs. Nabeen.
That's Papa Nab
Nice.
to you.
Nice.
Hell
So
yeah.
you step out with your companions into this space, and you sort of involuntarily harken back to a memory of riding with the mantises in their sort of unshattered glory as shock troops for the army of Lumerlin. The pride of the halflings, not only in Lumerlin but across the continent. And you, the mantises, were sent on a mission to basically quell what was kind of a rebellion, but almost like reports had come from a village of a spreading kind of madness. People were dancing themselves to death in the middle of the streets for days on end. Families were abandoning their children to go and paint every building a certain color, and just like weird, strange things happening. And so the mantises were dispatched to this town to effectively purge it. You were told to try and minimize casualties as much as you could, but upon riding into town and discovering what was going on, you were attacked by these, what were effectively cultists. And you discovered at the center of town that what had once been a church to the God King, the sort of dominating religious figure of most human-based nations, it had been fully converted by these mad villagers into this like bizarre madhouse where they had installed doors into the floor. They had knocked out all of the stained glass windows and built doors over where the windows had been. And Mantir, your commanding officer at the time, had warned any of the mantises away from actually going inside and investigating or anything. But you were able to catch a glimpse into the interior through some of these doors that had been installed that were open, and you saw more of the same, just like trapdoors and doors and window shutters just haphazardly applied to this entire structure. And you put it to the torch and cleared up the village, with effectively having killed every villager who was still around. And Mantir and some of the other officers were talking as the church burned behind you, and they mentioned that it must have been an upsprung cult of the Prince of Change that had done this.
I will share that story with my comrades.
Celine is gonna say that seems odd, seeing as how the runes in that last room, they rewarded to keep the Prince of Change out, basically.
Why don't you try to use
Unless it's trying to keep the Prince of Change in? Would the
Here.
wards be able to do it the same, like keep something in too, Hunter?
Yeah, because
keeping something
it's sort of like a barrier, right?
Mhm.
And
So
a barrier can apply to either what's inside or outside.
Okay.
And so there is some merit to that idea.
Okay. Yeah, I was gonna do that next. I will use Witch Sight to inspect the room.
Demon Prince, huh?
So you activate Witch Sight.
Mm-hmm.
And
Which side?
the witch sight is the witch one that she's gonna use.
The witch site is the witch site that sorry, witch site is the site that she will use. Got it.
And as Celine dons her blindfold and begins casting witch sight, all of you hear that same whispering voice, and it is coming from the right. Every one of you hears it on your ear that would be facing, I guess, east is the best way to describe it. And it whispers in all of your ears, "Oh, you're one of my favorites."
Would thou like to live deliciously?
And
yes, I would.
so the voice says, "Oh, you're one of my favorites." And Celine enters Witch Sight, and you look around up and down the hall, and some of the doors glimmer with a nebulous kind of, I guess the best way to describe it is like ever-changing types of winds of magic. You know, you have experienced a lot of the different ways that the winds can work, with like the stone circle where you found the philosopher and that sort of thing. It is very much like at the stone circle, this sort of chaotic intermingling of the different kinds of winds of magic. And so some of them do appear important, whereas some of them are basically just mundane doors.
Yeah. Can I go around and like point out which, like, start walking the room and basically point out, mark this one, like etch into it or something?
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay, so she'll just start like walking around the room, kind of like pointing out like doors and trapdoors, and be like, etch this one, etch this one, etch this one. Any that have the changing winds of magic.
And so Celine takes the lead, blindfolded, through this hallway of doors and portals. And let me roll a dice.
No. I
What?
refuse
Please?
to allow it. No.
All right. Let me check the notes. Oh, this is good. So you are all following Celine sort of through these hallways as she's marking doors, or having you guys mark doors. And the voice comes back. And it says, "How does it feel to hide from the gods?" And all of you hear it, but Heart knows that it's talking to him.
Elaine's very confused and like, I'm hiding from the gods?
Okay.
You'd be surprised what rocks they can't overturn.
Can I know, like he's talking to me?
It is directed to you intentionally. And Nesgrin, this is very weird to you, because you can kind of feel Heart reacting to it. And you hear it too, because everybody's hearing the voice. But you don't get that same sort of intentional feeling that Heart does.
I respond to it. What do you want from me?
Oh, that will be clear in time. You've done more than enough than I could ask for.
Do we all hear that too?
Yeah, everything that I say, you hear. You do not hear Hart.
I don't hear anyone talking, but he's clearly having a conversation.
It's not in my head. I wish it was.
Who are
I
you?
glare at Nesgrin.
I glare at Nesgrin as well.
I feel observed.
I feel observed. I love that.
I just respond with a very slow, who are you?
I'm the change of gold between hands that pays for the death of a soldier by a mercenary. I'm the guard that arrests you for being a dwarf. I'm a lot of things.
You're a coward is what you are. Where are we going, Celine? There's no point in listening to this filth.
I mean, she's like, right now I'm just having you mark doors that are, the winds of magic are constantly changing at these ones. These other ones that aren't marked are going to be just mundane. They could be normal doors or they're all dead ends. So at the very least, these ones we're marking, we should definitely take caution with them because I have no idea what's going to be on the other side. Just that the winds of magic are like constantly changing at these doors, unlike something I haven't seen except when we met the philosopher.
Excellent.
What do you want? What change do you seek?
And it doesn't respond to anybody but Hart. And you keep walking, and it's silent again. And I'm uncovering sort of the rest of this, but I do want to emphasize that as you are all sort of trekking around these hallways and marking significant doors and that sort of thing, you all saw sort of from a distance the two parts of the Shadow Castle. It's sort of like two buildings connected by walkways that you remember seeing.
This doesn't match, does it?
It matches because you do hit like walls without doors, but it is, you have traveled far more than you think you should be able to within this space.
It's bigger on the inside.
Yeah.
Like the TARDIS.
Yeah, like IKEA. And
That's my kind of Time Lord. A whole ass IKEA.
yeah.
Jesus.
You keep walking, and the voice returns. And it says, "You know what hasn't happened in a long time?
You shut up.
Elven blood wetting elven steel." And you all hear it, but Lillian
knows to fight with the wrong person.
That it's talking to her.
I know it's talking to me. Elves are cowards. Just like you.
Cowards? Would a coward abandon their chosen place? The place that they were supposed to be?
Yes, they would.
And you feel, Lillian, your mind begins to wander, but it's almost as if
Damn it.
someone is sifting through your memories more so than you are voluntarily like thinking them, because you're focused on this. Like,
I'm trying to focus very hard.
Follow Celine, mark the doors, roll a resolve check.
Yes. I would love to do that. That's a willpower.
Nice. So you succeed. And you are not forced into a memory, but you are shown, as this voice talks to you, the time you chose to leave the church and chose to strive out on your own. And you are shown something that is not a memory, but is oddly familiar to the time Celine invaded your mental privacy to show you things that may or may not be real. You are kind of imagining, kind of hallucinating a gallant elven figure clad in magnificent armor with an heirloom sword in his hand, sitting at the front of a host of warriors. And on what you recognize as the northern border of, I totally forgot what your country was called very briefly.
It's the Azure Woods.
The Azure Woods. And he is looking down upon a gathered host of mutants and orcs and beastmen that are backlit by that ever-present storm of when the star fell. And he turns to his soldiers and his army, raises his sword, and announces their victory in a voice that you know so well. And out of the sky falls a single black arrow that strikes him between where his gorget around his neck and where his helmet would have protected him, and slashes through his jugular and his windpipe. He eyes widen briefly as the true eternity of immortality flashes before his eyes, and he dies on his horse in front of the entire amassed knights of the Azure Woods. And the battle commences, and you are then shown an empty throne in a room that you've seen once or twice before. Funny how these things just happen.
I have no reason to believe that it has. And even if it had, it would make no difference. It was mine either way.
Interesting.
Now shut up. We're going somewhere. And hopefully, it's to kick your ass. Celine, can we kick a demon god's ass?
I mean, I don't know, but like if we had an orc scout on our side, I bet we'd stand a chance.
We'd certainly give it a shot, right?
And without even a pause in the voice, again, you are all hearing, and you're hearing Lillian's response out loud if she's doing it out loud.
I'll do it out loud.
It pivots, and it says, "Oh, pick you? Where could we even start?" Roll a resolve check, Celine, at -30.
This is what I get for being...
Can I help in any way?
Yes. For a fortune token, I will allow an assist.
I would love to spend a fortune token to try and help steal you against, because I know what it's doing. It's trying to rifle through our souls. Don't let it.
Okay. So roll your assist die. It needs to be a 3 or it needs to be a 2 or a
2 or
1.
lower. God damn it.
Oh.
I just want to say I was actually kind of. I know this is bad to fail probably, but I was kind of hoping you would fail.
I just wanted to help.
I know, and I appreciate that.
And it rounds on Celine. And you
Do
all
I
can
notice the winds change or anything?
No, not really,
God.
actually.
That's the really scary part.
And it says, "Oh, you've been naughty," and you are wrenched out of your
God.
perception and thrust back across miles and miles and miles into a very familiar setting. You land in the workshop at Fort Bodeswell of none other than the Fort Wizard, whose name I have forgotten.
The vial.
Um,
I actually might have
I
that
have it
written down.
somewhere. It's going to be in my game notes. It is going to be Phineas Rotmeyer.
Phineas, yeah.
Phineas the mage guy.
And you are watching Phineas as he watches your experiment. And it is very different from when you left Fort Bodeswell. This is a full-grown Skurzak in a cage being experimented on in Fort Bodeswell by Phineas. And he is, as you remember him, somewhat inept at this sort of thing.
Oh no, why is he doing this by himself?
And a change comes over your experimental rat. It is infused with the winds of magic, and its muscles visibly bulge as its eyes white over and it begins to foam at the mouth, and it smashes free, splaying Phineas across the workshop with a single swipe of its claws, and smashes through the door to begin running amok in Fort Bodeswell. And you follow it in your vision as it enters the keep, cuts through the honor guards that were present, protecting.
You bastard! You sick!
And you cry.
She was intrigued and felt bad at first, and now she's just.
You know where it's going.
No.
And you try to shut your eyes as it tears through the keep, up the familiar steps, splashing attendants against the wall until it enters a room that you've dreamed of many times before. And the captain dies at the hands of your experiment.
Oh no.
And the voice says, "And that is just one step that you've taken. You have been such a sweet little acolyte." And Celine has collapsed to the floor, is sobbing and screaming, "No, no, no, not this." And none of you see what she sees. But you hear the voice and you hear Celine. Celine, you take...
You like your slush?
10 peril, which I don't think actually does anything to you.
No, it doesn't.
As you awake from this vision, it's interesting the consequences of our actions.
I don't like the consequences of my actions.
I don't like the consequences of our actions.
I
Can we
whisper
not
in
do this?
the most motherly tone as I hold your rapidly weeping body. I'm like, well, I've been trying to tell you this for some time.
You're not helping.
And you begin to notice that there's a pattern to what doors are marked. They're only ever on the east side of these hallways and winding rooms and that sort of thing. And Celine recovers herself. Do you say anything in to the voice or anything like that?
You know, you called me a good little acolyte, but by doing so, I feel like you've just done the worst possible thing for what you would call an acolyte. By targeting that, nah, fuck this bullshit. All you've done is show me the stupidity that could cause these problems. I've already caused problems for other things, and now I'm gonna avoid that path. Because you're a bastard, just to spite you because of that one thing. I want you to know that.
That's all it took? This whole time? I've been doing everything to try and get you on the straight and narrow. It had to be spite? That was the emotion that needed to be tugged on?
How did you not know this already, Lillian?
There's a little more to it than that, but
Winter King, hold me!
It's spite and horny.
Yes.
Oh, yeah.
And the voice
Horny
responds, even when you think you're off the path, history has shown that you just make the right choices every time.
Can't prove that. I learned about empathy this time.
You're in trouble. I've discovered empathy.
I'm taking a full step off of
empathy
my
now.
psychopathy, one
so
whole
funny.
notch down.
Yep.
I believe in the power of
empathy
friendship.
is. I have the power of empathy on my side. I feel bad for you.
And so the meandering continues, and you work.
Yeah, Selena pointed out like on the east.
Yeah, so you
like all the doors are on the east. It seems like.
And do you open them or is there any change? Okay, you're just marking them still.
Yeah, she wants to know which all of them are first, then kind of figure out if we want to try one and risk it or see. So,
Okay.
Do they change colors or something like that? What do you see?
Celine, roll a flat incantation.
Okay.
Not flat.
Success.
So you are noticing that, kind of like what Nesgrin suggested, that what first appeared to be a sort of random pattern of winds of magic is actually, you haven't quite cracked what it is, but there's a sequence. Some of the doors are slightly different than the other ones, and so there's probably a pattern or something to this.
Okay. She will point that out. She's
Fibonacci. We'll try the Fibonacci
Yeah.
first.
And so the meandering continues. The doors are marked. Celine is noticing a pattern, and the voice returns.
And we should take a break because I really gotta pee.
Oh yeah, it's 10:35. Perfect timing. All right.
Yes.
We will be right back with more Scarlet Sash stories. We're going to take a quick
I got a
break.
piece of that.
Play cowboy music.
Yeah.
That's not cowboy music, guys.
No, I mean, no, that was dueling banjos. That's cowboy music.
Yeah. No.
No.
Dueling banjos?
No.
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 I guess maybe not cowboys, but certainly
Maybe Cowboys on
Hillfolk.
Brokeback Mountain.
like hill folk. That's some hill folk music.
That
Hillfolk. What's a
is-
hillfolk?
an
You know.
Appalachian hillbilly.
Yeah. Yeah, the people that live up in the woods and they got shine and they ain't got no teeth.
I used to live
Hey
there,
now,
up in the woods.
my family has teeth, sir. Thank you.
Are they hillbillies?
Yes.
Do they make
They
moonshine?
absolutely are. Yes, actually, they did.
All right.
You live in a hill?
I mean, when they lived in Tennessee, yeah. I'm gonna go P2.
Fun.
Okay, that feels so much better. Holy shit. So, Topher, how is it with Nesgrin?
Fun.
It's so much fun.
Hey, it's better than you so get friends. So
Dun, dun, dun. Dun, 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 dun. I have gummy bears. Hunter doesn't have gummy bears. He's a fucking nerd and a loser. Yeah, 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 but he's my loser. So fuck all you who take my loser. Yeah, yeah, yeah. I'm just jealous of the gummy bears.
Love it.
Thank you. Well, you lucked out, Topher. Nesgrin saved you.
Yeah.
Celine was ready to dump your
Sure was. Holy fuck, dude.
yeah, you owe me. So better be.
You gotta remember who Celine is, Topher. You fuck with Celine or make her feel like she's been toyed with and she'll let you have the worst of it.
Basically, she's a teenage girl who was raised in the wild.
Yep.
God.
Basically, yeah.
Oh, for tell me a story.
This one time, there was a not so smart dwarf.
I woke up this morning and I chose violence.
I chose gummy bears.
And he was imprisoned simply because of his race. And then through some luck and circumstance, he made a wonderful group of friends. who he wanted to protect more than anything.
And
So
then
he
tried
lied to
murder
them.
them.
Cheated,
And
killed,
in his
ate the flesh of demons, all
In
in the name of
his-
friendship
in
Vampire
his
and
dunder
kindness.
in his
down by
dunderheaded
a
way.
fire and hear this sad story.
In his dunderheaded way, he thought that the only way he could protect these friends that he had come to love so much was to gain as much power as he could. So he did questionably moral things.
Hey, Lenny, think of the rabbits.
Oh god.
Wasn't it puppies?
No, he killed the puppies, but he loved rabbits, and he kept killing
okay.
rabbits.
Yeah.
So
Okay.
one day we're gonna get a farm upstate where we'll have rabbits.
Yeah.
Okay. It's been a while
Um,
since we've like
We
watched that.
brought
read
the
book or
rabbit.
whatever.
Good old
Rabbit.
Of Mice and Men, right?
Classic Steinbeck, my
Yeah.
guy.
So we return, and you're finding in your wandering through these hallways that you come across some passageways, or I guess the best way to describe it are door frames that have been bricked over. They don't have doors or anything like that. And those, you notice, only occur on the north side of these hallways and passages. And so there's a slight pattern emerging in your markings and recollections. And the voice returns. And it says to Nabeen, "It's interesting how when something is taken away, it can give so many others so much more." And Nabeen, your mind begins to wander in a similar fashion as Lillian's did, as if fingers are paging through your memories. And as many of your memories are, it settles upon one where you're looking down the sights of a gun. And on the other side is Mantir.
It's not how I killed him.
How did you kill him?
I slit his throat.
Okay, so you are sneaking through the darkness into Mantir's bedchamber, knife in hand, knowing that what was taken from you can never happen to anybody again. And so you will take from Mantir. And you relive killing him. Make a resolve check.
Any modifiers?
It depends on if you have indicated that it's talking to you or not. Because everybody else can hear it. But if nobody knows that it's you yet, or right now, then probably it'll be flat.
I probably wouldn't have said anything yet. So.
Okay. And so you are overcome.
Except when she admonished the demon and said, "That's not how I killed him."
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's not how it went down.
It's true.
And this is again very similar to what happened in the woods outside of the stone circle. When Celine violated your trust and filled your head with fanciful images, you are shown almost like simultaneously in like an overwhelming like overlap the ripple of consequences that occurred after you killed Mantir. You see the infighting that the officers experienced, the eventual dissolution of this fighting corps, the like various paths that your comrades in arms had to take because the mantises fell apart after Mantir's death. And specifically, you are shown one of the recruits that you didn't know super well. After the mantises disbanded, you watch them fall into like a crime sort of like bandit group in Voshek Tadberg. They had left Lumerlin, taken their fighting skills elsewhere, and moved to Big Sar. And they are present at Multitine Castle, a place that you have never seen or been to, but you know is the heart of the Voshek Tadberg Empire. And this recruit helps a motley crew of thieves and beggars and journalists.
Metallica.
Yep.
Hey, Nacho and I know that crew.
They are
Allegedly.
hired on, allegedly know that crew.
Allegedly.
They are hired on as fake like wait staff for a giant gala that is to commemorate the establishment of the Multitine network to protect Voshek Tadberg from magical cataclysm. But all they know, this recruit, this former mantis, is that they're getting a big payout at the end of the day. And at the end of that day never comes, as a screaming star of pure chaos magic doesn't kill them, but transforms them in this wave of chaos energy that washes over the entire city. They are transformed into a gibbering flesh monster with tentacles and eye stalks, and you are pulled back into yourself. And the voice says, just imagine if you could just let it slide. Where would we be today?
Well, I suppose we'd be in a different place, but I wouldn't sleep as well at night. And she shrugs and keeps walking.
I wonder how Ransla sleeps at night. With those
Barely warm when she's next to me.
I love Neb's
The
sassy
hordes.
attitude in this case.
the hordes of orcs and beastmen knocking at the door of Pertswell, and you know where to be found.
She knows where to find me, as she always has.
We'll see.
We all take our gambles.
And you are finally noticing that you are returning to doors that you have already marked. You have wandered effectively all of the hallways here, which has been quite the trek.
Mm-hmm.
And the pattern begins to emerge. The bricked off spaces are impassable. They are represent where there was once doors or passageways or something that have been sealed for some reason. And the eastern doors that are active in the Winds of Magic are somehow related. They connect to each other in some way. And the voice returns. And it says, how does it feel to know that you were chosen? And it's speaking to Nesgrin.
Do I feel Nesgrin react?
You do.
Can I help him with a resolve?
What? How does Nesgrin react to that idea?
Chosen to what? Because Nesgrim. Because one of the things Nesgrim is one of her, we call it here, the alignments.
Yeah.
I have impiety.
Oh yeah.
And heresy.
Yeah.
So I'm more of like
an atheist kind of. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm more self-made. So I don't believe in like chosen ones and those kind of stuff because I made myself. I don't need help of the gods to do anything.
This choice.
Yeah, those are my choices. So
she's a strong, independent woman, and she don't need no man god.
Yeah, gods are not there for help. So they never helped me. So I did everything by my own. So
little do you know, child.
Yeah, chosen one. No.
Even
weird. Sounds
even
too much like a religious thing, like something like a god chose me for what?
Yeah.
Weird. I will be like, what? I think it suits the character.
Yeah. And the voice says, even the most self-reliant of mortals can't escape choices being made for them. And you are shown a brief slideshow style sequence of memories of you and Ardron fighting. And this is both physical and emotional, like sibling bickering. And it all stems back to your parents. And eventually
always does.
This slideshow of memories becomes things that you couldn't ever possibly have remembered. Because you are 2 years old now. A mere toddler without any sense of the world besides the love of your parents. And you're confused because your parents are weeping together over the cold little body of Ardron. And they beseech any power that exists, anything out there in the world that could possibly right this unfairness. And a familiar voice answers and says, we can fix this. It'll just take a little sacrifice. And little 2-year-old Nesgrin has her soul lifted out of her briefly. It is severed in half, and half of it is placed in Ardron. And the voice says, surely this won't have any consequences down the line. And you fall back into yourself. And the voice says, you may think every step you take is your own.
Every move you make.
I'll be watching you.
Oh no.
But what a wild turn of events it was for you to rediscover Ardron buried in the rubble, miles away from anything you've ever known. Curious how that works.
I don't like this thing. It's starting to have some valid points.
What are you talking about? We intentionally went out of our way to do these things. It's not chance.
Well,
It's not
No.
happenstance. It's just the consequences of actions we intentionally chose.
but I feel like it was just chance that we stumbled into Ardron, you know?
I wasn't chance. I was looking for him.
He was looking for it.
Did
He
you know
was.
he was in this area?
He could feel him. He
Yeah.
could feel his soul.
You showed him.
Oh, yeah. That's right, I did.
I knew he was around here. I was
So it's-
following him.
It's only
Looking for
fate so
him.
much as the act of making decisions inherently leads to their outcomes. He's a charlatan. And I'm
Making
talking about the
choices.
DM.
Yeah.
Yeah, the
Right,
demon
the
man.
purple.
I
Yeah,
thought
the
we,
demon
we-
man.
I thought we did that soul splitting way before 2 years. Way
Do you think
before.
you mean like
Yeah, I think it was
you were
Like-
twins?
pregnancy. Yeah,
Okay. Yeah, that's
not in pregnancy, but after delivery,
Birth.
I think.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah. After
so that
birth,
we
yeah,
can
so,
we can retcon that vision a little bit of
yeah, we
two-
could
Yeah,
go
see,
back,
he doesn't know. He's trying to fill in the gaps.
Yeah. Oh,
two newborns, one squirming and one cold.
That's sad as hell.
It is.
That's so sad.
I will also go like, if I haven't chose to do it, you will have died. So you didn't have anything to do with my choice, even
Yeah,
though
and you-
I was a baby.
You
So,
have
I think-
always felt in yourself that you knew, or that you, like you say, like chose to save Ardron. And this vision is purporting that it wasn't you, it was the Prince of Change. Go
Gods
ahead.
have never done anything for anyone, so why the fuck we would do something for someone else?
That's totally
There's my
fair.
heresy.
Yeah.
My heresy.
That's definitely heresy. If you want to grab a corruption for that, you can.
Yeah, for sure. Or another one.
I mean, you may be jumping to some conclusions like I am on your side, but I can produce blizzards.
Yeah.
So they do some things for some people, nothing for no one. Maybe jumping to some conclusions, but
maybe-
I understand the impetus of what you're saying.
Maybe you're just choosing to produce blizzards.
I mean, I am, but I couldn't do it on my own.
Yeah, why not? Celine does it.
Well,
Not specifically Blizzard.
that's a whole other
interesting.
that's a whole other sort of can of worms.
The party arrives where they started, debating the merits
Philosophical.
of like god derived magic versus like arcane derived magic,
Hmm.
which is truly a good
Jesus.
conversation to have.
For sure.
With people that have no idea about the difference between both of them. So
Right.
And the voice returns, and you all feel it's what did Nesgrin say earlier? I feel perceived or
Observed.
observed. Yeah, so you
Observed,
all
yeah.
feel observed by the
hate that.
voice. And it says, no matter what you think brought you here, and by here I don't mean just physically where you stand, but the events that occurred to end up where we are now. Sure, they're your choices, but every little step every change of hands of gold or prisoners, every prejudice and slight and occurrence, it's been me. And I'm here for you.
Man, that makes you a pervert.
True. Yeah.
Every brush of a lover's lips that
Yeah, see, you're a pervert, you creep.
Yikes.
Like,
This
don't
guy.
get me wrong, I'm all for that, but Jesus.
I gotta cancel this guy, honestly.
At least ask
Hashtag-
first.
Hashtag cancel
Maybe
God of
they're
Change.
into it.
Prince
I
of
mean, I get
Change
that
is
somebody watch, but fuck.
more like Prince of Pervert, am I right?
All right.
More like Prince of Change your own behavior.
and it says, there's far more ahead of you than you could ever understand. But one thing needs to be done first. And it'll be my last and final test of you.
Our ability to take a random action and have the expected consequences of that action occur? Is that the test? I'm really good at that. I've been doing it my whole life.
And if all of our choices are made by you,
Then it's not really our choice at all.
I make my own choices. I am here
Oh yeah,
to...
well, unless there's
yeah,
another
for
god.
sure.
God of changes
You
change.
know,
Oh man.
Yeah, you're really the
Who
Prince of
changes the
Change.
changer?
And you hear the voice sit down at the table and say, wait a second.
Who watches the Watchers, motherfucker?
Are you telling me...
I sit down and have
my
a
whole life.
a
sit
theological
down and have a
discussion?
drink with the god and be like cause a god to have an existential crisis.
Holy shit.
Oh god,
Is this
they're
what you guys
right.
deal with all the time?
God, I feel mortal.
Jesus Christ. God.
As amazing as that turn of events would be, I didn't I haven't prepared at all for that, and I feel like the
Well,
prince.
whose fault is that, really?
the
You've had plenty of instances to
Yeah.
know it was ending here.
Yep. The demon princes are probably a little more self-absorbed than that.
Probably.
We'll take a 12-part persuasion combat.
Yeah.
Oh god.
There's actually in Zweihander,
Didactic warfare.
there is a system that we haven't used before of like social intrigue. It's very it's like combat, but it's sort of turn-based social intrigue
yeah. I
roles
remember you
and
saying
stuff.
that, which is interesting.
It's
very
similar. The Dragon Age campaign also has.
Yeah.
The Dragon Age tabletop rules has something similar with those like weird social crits and stuff.
Yeah. And it's very interesting and perfect for that kind of like interaction with gravitas, but is a little too much for everyday sort of discussions and NPC interactions. But yeah, so the voice says, "You've been shown the way. Simply follow it and accept that while you make your own choices, you've maybe had a little help."
I mean, yeah, that was the point I was making earlier to Nesgrin. That yeah, I do have a little help from my own personal savior, my Lord, Lord Winter
The
King,
literal god.
the literal only god that ever existed. Period. End of story.
And Celine, you notice that this pattern has solidified. There is the doors connect to each other, and so when you open one, you find yourself exiting from the next door in the pattern. And let's do each of you should make a roll akin to like trekking over the wilderness as you all assist in finishing this pattern basically as fast as possible. So
survival?
Yeah, like survival would be relevant, or scrutinize for people who don't have survival, or navigation. That's a skill, right?
A skill.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Would that be easier?
Navigation would be easier than survival, yes. Navigation would be
because I
plus
do
10.
have navigation. That's still a bit.
Can I do leadership?
Yeah, that would work.
Oh,
I'll do
cool.
navigation.
What are the options?
A skill that you think would be relevant in solving this like door pattern.
Don't even worry about it. I figured it out.
And
Hey,
doing
me too!
doing it, holy shit. Doing it in such a way that is expedient. And we have 2 crit fails already.
Okay.
Come on, let's.
All right, God of
Am
Change.
I included in this or no?
Yes.
Scrutinize help you to find patterns in things, like deciphering clues.
Yeah.
Mm,
I thought that was another crit fail.
I was so excited for another crit fail.
Yep.
Yeah, I got nothing, so I guess I got to de-scrutinize as well.
Which is fine.
So I guess I can whisper the answer to Nesgrin.
So everyone failed. 2 crit fails except for Hart, who got a crit success. You do have fortune points to spend. I will bring them over. I believe I have 3 and you guys have 3. Where
We
am I?
roll it at the beginning, right? I think
Yeah, we rolled it. You only got one of them.
Yeah, so
Yeah,
I
but
start
he
with
started
1.
You gain 1, and who?
And then Cody spent
Nate,
1.
Code.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah.
Okay.
So I could spend another 1.
So yeah, if people, and it's really up to the people who rolled the non-critical failures.
Okay, I'll spend 1 if we could change
Okay.
this.
So
outcome.
so Ignacio will try to re-roll the scrutinize and succeeds. All right.
I possibly use warfare.
So do you want to spend a fortune point to try another test?
Mhm.
Yeah, we could do that.
Okay.
Ooh, baby, let's go.
All right.
Oh, baby, 3 crit fails.
So
This is wild.
the pattern becomes confounding.
If I crit
And-
succeeded, can I tell Nesgrin?
So, as you watch through Nesgrin's eyes, Lillian and Celine messing it all up, you feel a familiar hand upon your perception, similar to what you experienced when you were able to project your feelings to Celine. And you see what they're doing wrong. You begin to understand this sort of labyrinth inside of a labyrinth that they're just missing in their exhaustion or stress. from what they've seen or heard from the voice. And it whispers to you.
Watch my future husband die.
It whispers to only you. Go ahead and tell them, Hart.
And they can't hear that?
They did not hear that.
If I think something, can he hear me?
Yes.
So I think in my mind, why would you want me to do that?
Because I think it's funny.
I speak to Nesgrin, and I, with sadness in my voice, I say to Nesgrin, first of all, I say, I don't want to die.
Nesgrin's like, cool.
You got it, man.
You did a crappy job.
You did a crappy job.
You suck.
Multiple
Get
times,
fucked.
too.
Yeah.
Get fucked.
What a response.
That's great.
I can't clip that. We're on
Can
Zweihander.
Can I like yeah, I should use
Can
yeah,
Oh, shit, I
scrutinize, I
can't.
think, to see if he's like truthful or he's like just lying. Like out of his voice, I think he's like repenting.
Is that? Are you
Actions,
asking? Are you asking Topher?
He's saying, what should he
No,
roll to find
Yeah,
out?
I'm asking you. actually,
And then
what should I
outside
roll?
of myself, I will
Yeah.
tell him if I was lying or.
Yeah. Scrutinize would be perfect to just assess the emotions
Yeah.
that are coming from
Yeah.
heart
Can I have
soul
a-
inside of you, and you get a
something?
+10 because you're used to this kind of thing.
Yeah, and he's with me, so
Yeah.
it will be harder for him to lie to me.
Yeah.
Ah!
Holy shit.
Almost there, Topher.
There is one last
point.
fortune point.
Yeah, I should do it.
All right.
Let's get the box of doom in.
They're afraid of you, Hart. All right. He succeeds on his scrutinize. What does he, through the layers of emotion and turmoil that Hart is experiencing, what does Nesgrin see?
Let me send it to you, and you can decide how successful he is.
Okay. I can dig that.
Secrets at the table. Yeah.
I'm feeling like very like Jean Grey when she traps Phoenix.
Oh yes, you got the evil in you.
Yeah. So Nesgrin,
Hunter.
Cody.
you
Nate!
SpongeBob.
you for everything that you've experienced of Heart up to this point, you think back on what you've witnessed and what, you know, the just even in the last like few hours, what has transpired. And Heart says, I'm afraid to die. And you believe him. But you believe him in the sense that Hart has always been a survivor. He made his living as a sellsword, as a mercenary for hire. He rarely, up until this change of heart recently, which actually you hadn't met him
Change of heart.
before then, but from the stories that Celine and Lillian have told you about how when Hart caught fire and nearly died, and then he got what they call demons in his blood, which was actually, I guess, empathy, or at least the desire to change.
Celine was so afraid of my kindness.
Yeah. You've seen Hart effectively come back from the dead. And so you know that he is afraid of dying, but you don't know why. Or, I guess, in what context he is sharing this part of his inner being with you.
Okay. So I go. What are you so afraid of?
Wouldn't you be afraid to never exist again?
I'm still here. Death is part of living.
I know the
You
answer
cannot
to the
escape forever.
I know the answer to the pattern they're trying to figure out. And I want to share it with you, but I want you to promise me that you won't let them kill me forever.
You don't do anything stupid. I'll help you.
And I share with him the answer to the puzzle.
And Nesgrin, you begin to understand that Hart won't be able to really help unless you give him a little bit of control of Nesgrin's body. Like, he has to be able to point and maybe even speak through you.
I understand.
And so do you allow this?
So what I will do is, we'll allow it for a brief time. What I would do is like say stop doing it. We'll speak to Lillian and name escape me.
Celine?
Celine?
Celine, yeah.
Yep.
Stop doing what you're doing. You're doing everything wrong.
What?
Because I know, because I had that succeed, so I know he does.
Yeah.
Up, so I will go like, stop doing this. You're doing it everything wrong.
What are we doing wrong?
I don't know. I know you're doing it wrong. Art
So
has
do
the
you
answer.
allow me to kind of take control for a second and tell them?
Wait. Art has the answer. I'll be right back.
We stay lost.
We stay lost?
Wait, you don't want...
So,
So as he gives up control to me, I say to Lillian, so you don't want to get out of here? And you can tell it's me because of the tone in my voice.
Yeah.
Sure. I wanted to separate your head from your shoulders.
Sorry. It won't be your tone of voice because it will be my voice, but you will change your
It'll be the
body
anger.
language. Your body
Yeah.
language.
Yeah.
Like,
It's that
Just a
uncanny
change.
like change of
Yeah.
pose.
Yeah,
Posture.
she can tell it's me.
Yeah.
And you see that when you, because I'm a gnome and you're a dwarf, like get confused with size.
Yeah.
So, that he's like a little bit clumsy.
Yeah.
He will try to grab something and he will miss. And
Yeah, not
I
reach it quite.
stumble a bit.
Yeah.
stumble a bit and like and these short legs and something like that.
I love it.
Now you're in control, so go for it.
So you don't want to escape?
I want to figure it out myself. You say you have the answer. Well, I don't trust you.
Well, I don't want to die.
Well, that's surprising.
Newsflash.
And so does Hart as Nesgrin just kind of take the lead, or are you waiting?
I turn to Celine with like that emotional look in my eyes, like I just want to help, and I begin to like point at the patterns and see if she'll like listen to me at all.
Don't give me the puppy dog eyes. If you know the answer, just point it out.
And I share Celine with Celine what I know, if she'll allow me to.
And
Well, yeah, she said point it out.
With Hart's help, what was beginning to be a circular sort of endless pattern that Celine and Nabeen and Lillian were mistaking sort of crystallizes, and you enter and exit through a series of doors, and finally you exit from one door into a space that you haven't seen before. It is a huge vaulted double door, big arc, heavy wooden doors that all of you recognize as the entrance to some kind of church. This is like the doors before you enter the sanctuary of like a cathedral or something like that. And you all enter into this space. Hart has solved this pattern, presumably, and you haven't needed to expend any extra effort. You didn't have to like stop in camp or become exhausted or anything like that, which would have been the case with 2 or 3 crit failures. And so this shows you that in some fashion, Hart was telling the truth.
After seeing the door, can we just do alchemy without a circle?
Say that again?
After seeing the door, can we do alchemy without a circle? Come on, you don't get it.
Oh wait, I think that's from Full Metal Alchemist, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah, I didn't get it fast enough.
Okay.
Yeah, I didn't get it fast enough.
We've seen the truth now.
Hilarious.
And
You gotta watch Brotherhood. It's great.
Chris has got to watch FMA.
Yeah, you should.
It is super good.
Brotherhood, not the other one.
Yeah, watch Brotherhood. The other one sucks. That's the official stance of the ZweihanderRPG channel.
So
and so what does Nesgrin reassert control? Does Hart say anything? Does everyone just accept that the cursed member, the fallen paladin, has provided the answer?
Fallen one.
I fully don't trust any of it, and have my weapons out the whole time. And I'm literally waiting for the shoe to drop.
Anyway, we're in a pretty untrustful area, so
Yeah, that's probably a good idea to do that anyway. But
Yeah,
also,
Help us to progress. So
untrustful.
So I
Uh,
just say you're welcome, and I give control back to Nesgrin.
you're welcome. I didn't fucking lop your head off.
Hey, it's my head.
you did
Don't touch
burn
my
his
head. I like
body
my
to
head.
nothingness.
I know, and it's taking everything in me to leave your head on your body. And frankly, Nesgrin, I like you.
Think of it, I'm saving your soul.
You can keep thinking.
Celine's got to scooch over and like whisper to Nesgrin, I think it might be that time, we've kind of synced up being around each other.
I quit. I'm not playing anymore. You've ruined everything, Nate.
Sorry.
Sorry, in Chris's fantasy world, periods don't exist. Which is
Also that, but
understandable.
Yeah.
So I'm having issues with this like voice because it's like pretty obvious he's manipulating us. So I think we are going through his um sendero road, not road. I'm going
Path.
path. Yeah, we're walking his path. I'm a little bit of worried because
Yeah.
he's laying he's laying the path before us, and we don't have any detours to take.
We are kind of
So
in his domain right now,
yeah,
so
so I think we're pretty screwed. I don't think we have
No,
much
we're not to be.
options
We're not screwed.
unless you can commute with your god and help us.
I'm
And
waiting
I
for
said-
the Winter King to just like smite fucking
Yeah.
him.
I say to
I want to
Nesgrin,
know right now. I'm cursed by this god for having forgiven someone. And when I was talking earlier that the pack was after us, there's the very real possibility that a wolf will show up and try to kill us. And at this point, I'm not convinced it's gonna go for me. I think you may have pissed it off enough that it might go for you.
You know, like that you're like putting more into Nesgrim. You know, like you're putting more heresy into Nesgrim.
Oh, no.
You're proving her that gods are useless because
Well,
you're
he's not
gonna do
useless. He's
anything.
just
It's like,
pissed.
Yeah.
You know, I get pissed, and I hit Celine like 10 seconds ago.
yeah, you're not a god. You're a mortal.
Well, that's what you think.
Gods should be above that.
You know, you're born one way, or you're born another way, and I wouldn't necessarily say that I'm immortal.
Die.
That's
necessarily.
that's a story for another day.
So, what do we do? Do we walk into the wolf's den, or
As
should we try to find our pathway?
as
secret
Nesgrin
pathway?
says that, the voice returns and says, I couldn't have even
Is-
predicted how this
he
would have
speaking
gone
to all
for
of
you.
us?
And he's speaking to all of you, and you all feel that same observed feeling. Now, I'm not here to debate the fallacy or power of deities or demons or anything like that. I'll leave that to you. But I am here to offer something.
I start thinking in my head where Nesgrin can get here. Free me. Free me. Free me.
I have taken a great deal in pleasure with observing you five. You
Gross.
have
Gross.
simply
You're welcome.
provided
One in the barrel, and I just point to a random barrel that's there. So
and
We've been rolling
Trish
around.
and Trish. You and your
explain the elements of change involved in Trish's life.
You and your companions have left a wake of chaos behind you. And I relish it. And so, I'm here to offer something. This is a test not without a reward. And you are given the choice. The doors in front of you sort of like you hear the unlatching of
Fucking
deep,
1, 2, 3 choose a door game show here.
the unlatching of like a deep mechanical lock that was binding them closed. You can pick
I'll take door number 1.
one of two things. You can choose to take the test and receive some of my vast knowledge. Something that you've been questioning quite often recently. Or, if you truly are self-made, of your own decisions, the consequences be damned, you can leave. And to the left of you, where there was one of those doorways that was bricked over, the bricks sort of crumble outward into a staircase that goes up.
There's a big sign that says "Test this way."
The test is clearly the big double doors.
You sure?
And the choice is yours. And in so as far as if making your choices determines your fate or changes your fate, that's up to you. And the voice sort of focuses on Lillian briefly. Whatever gods you think you tread with. But wouldn't it be interesting to know just a little bit more about what these Riley little Skurzak are doing with this god-killing fungus? Interesting. As the voice fades into the walls.
Our choices aren't our own. How do we know that we are choosing on our own and we are not choosing what you want?
Isn't that the question you've been asking yourself this whole time?
And according to what
you're wrong.
thought of, he's saying that whatever one we pick is the one that he predicted because that's how psychics work.
Yeah.
He's a cheater.
Of course he's a cheater. Let's go back through the portals.
What the fuck?
Fuck you.
Wait a second.
Yeah, I remember there was this series of movies that there was a chosen one and he blew his head off.
I don't know that one.
That's Cody. He's like, "What's the third option?"
Yeah, he blew his
Let's
head
all-
off because he was like,
Oh, whoa.
Lillian's like, let's all kill ourselves.
wasn't that one
I'll break the simulation.
Yeah.
the devil advocate? Like he didn't choose any one of the options. He blew his head off and
I don't remember that one.
started the cycle
Oh,
one.
Yeah.
I'll,
It was Keanu
Something
Reeves
like that one.
and
So good to mass suicide, but that would be boring.
That's pretty boring,
Yeah.
admittedly.
I mean,
So,
the way I look at it, the choice doesn't matter anyway because it's not our choice. We've been given two options by this entity that claims to be, you
our
know,
choice
so
is
we're
the
not
only
choosing.
thing
them. So
Hey, Chris, the only thing that matters is the journey.
yeah, that's fine.
I go like journey, journey.
Don't we still have a bunch of bombs?
I was
You do have a
thinking
bunch
that
of
too,
bombs, yeah.
actually.
Let's just blow a hole in one of the other walls.
You can.
Yup.
Because you are, as far as you know, in Shadow Castle, the southern half of Shadow Castle.
Yeah, we could blow a wall. Don't we have powder?
Yeah. Fuck you. We're gonna blow up your house.
Wait.
And there's no
What
response.
if this is a prison?
What?
What if this is a prison?
What if we're in a prison?
Yeah,
It is a prison. We do
It's
know
so.
it's a prison.
it's so.
Yeah, it is. It's his prison. That's
Oh,
we're pretty confident of that.
We should go back and try to establish the portal and get back in it.
Oh,
And
go
we
all the
do
way
that?
back. No, the portal's off. You guys shut the portal.
I did shut the
Yeah.
portal.
Yeah, you
There's an army back there.
Yeah.
Can I turn the powder into a holy hand grenade so it doesn't break?
I mean, you guys can. I believe only one of you expended. Or no, I guess one of you set a trap and Hart blew up Soul Tower.
Yeah, he did.
And so I believe there's 3 powder charges left, which could, in theory, be used to free yourselves or try and make a third option.
Free yourself.
That's what my money's on, but I used my black powder to make a trap.
Yeah.
I don't believe that the god of change is trapped in this castle.
How do you know?
Oh, I don't think so either.
Because
but...
he's doing too much nonsense everywhere else in the world.
That's why he's trapped.
Is there anything else?
That's why he's speaking to people. That's how he makes you think that he's out there. He's convincing people to do his bidding, because he can't do it himself. So
Is there
maybe he is
anything-
trapped. Don't forget the Kursak killed the tasked one. So
Yeah.
why wouldn't be able to trap another deity inside their
I do hate the 13.
thingy?
This castle has been here before the Skurzak too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So yeah,
but
that
maybe they learn how to do it.
You do know that this predates the whole facility and everything, but you don't necessarily know the exact timeline of like when the orc's body got here and that sort of thing. And so there's some wishy-washiness, but this castle certainly was here first.
So it's a random idea. If the miasma is alive, and it's a fungus or living thing. You know, like they say that we have memory from our, like in our cells, from our
Ancestral memory.
ancestral memory. Yeah, that one. Wouldn't the miasma could be able to have some ancestral memory if we could tap it into it? If we could find something else. Will help us.
Ooh. If only you knew somebody who had a lot of experience with miasma.
Nesgrin,
Who you
that's a
could
dumb
talk
idea.
to.
That's a stupid idea, and I refuse to entertain it.
Yeah, because it's much smarter to pick chose number 1 or number 2 and
No!
do whatever,
Or
whatever
make-
the chance want to
Blow
do.
this shit up!
And if you blow this shit up and it's prison, you will be releasing into the world. So
Ah,
if
he's
your
out there
your
already.
god is angry with you, imagine how angry will he be if you release the Prince of Change.
Nesgrin, you've been the
Jesus
nicest
Christ.
to me. I'm on your side,
I
and I'll
love-
help you if you want anything.
What a weak ass magic prison gets blown up by black powder. I don't buy it.
If you broke the runes that it's keeping him trapped, it will be.
If there's even runes in this current room. In the last maze, I didn't notice
Yeah.
runes in there, did I, Hunter?
Yeah,
Or did
but
I?
you don't know how
No,
that
it
would
was
work.
it was effectively all hallways.
Mm-hmm.
And it was on, all the runes were on the stuff next to the portal, yeah?
Maybe the only place
Yes.
that can go in and out it's the portal, and that's the only place that needs to be locked.
How did they make
And
it?
you can.
Is there anything else pertinent? I remember having seen this before with the cult. Any other information that I can glean?
Yeah. Nabeen, you would definitely get the sense that it is strikingly familiar to like a shrine or temple as opposed to a prison. Like this, as you were wandering through and you're remembering burning that converted church and everything, those villagers made their what was originally a church or cathedral to the God King. They converted it into a temple of the Prince of Change. And so Nabeen you very much think that this is some cultist temple or shrine or something that you've stumbled into versus a prison or anything like that.
Then I will relay that information and cast my vote to blow up a fucking wall and burn this shit down.
High five. I guess it's really more one of these.
Nab climbs on top of the table and like high fives you.
Nesgrin, I think your idea could work.
More into my favor.
So there's
How
two.
he doesn't can go trap here. He sent his image of this.
Nesgrin,
His sanctuary.
listen. Listen. Nesgrin, listen. I dropped the other half of the heart next to the portal edge.
Go eat
You can get it and take it to Celine. She might be able to tell you how to talk to it.
Oh, to commune with the miasma.
Yeah. If you want to commune with the miasma, the rest of the heart is still on the ground in that circular room.
Well, bad ideas.
Even
Anyone
though
else smell
I
that?
smell bad
I still have my
ideas.
jar. I still have my
Oh,
miasma jar.
Nesgrin has a entire
Has the
purified jar of
Does he?
miasma. Yeah.
When
Yeah.
did he get that?
That's
Holy
from-
shit.
Got it from the doctor.
It's from the
Holy
doctor's stash, yeah.
Yeah. I was going to use it as a bargain with the philosopher.
Yeah. Yeah, Nesgrin is carrying a huge,
Yeah.
arguably very large amount of miasma right now.
Damn.
So he's sending his images to his acolyte to replicate this one. So maybe he isn't able to get out of here. He's trapped. We
I
blow
kind
up.
of whirl on
blow
Nesgrin,
a
and I'm
hole.
just like,
Why,
you know,
why he's
for
trying to
someone
force us to do
who
something?
doesn't believe in the gods, you sure are worried about releasing one.
Yeah, I'm worried of releasing one. I'm not stupid. I know that they exist.
Questionable.
And I know no. It's not that I don't believe that. I know they exist. I know they don't do anything for me. Different. I know they exist because
There are
you know,
only
I know
evil
gods
gods.
exist, right? But they don't. I don't trust them because they don't do nothing for me. They don't
I
never
wanna-
help me. But why would help a god, a bad god, escape through people? Because the good ones are not going to help the people, but the bad ones are going to screw them.
And so you're worried
So-
that desecrating this area would let the Prince of Change mess with
Not
more
desecrating
people.
it. I think it is his prison. He's
Okay.
keep here. That's why he's talking to us. Why he does want us to do something.
So this is a hell of a long shot, but I'm gonna take. Celine's just been kind of sitting there listening, thinking about what she wants to do, and I want to take in like kind of all that they've said, and then what it said about choosing, and I want to scrutinize like
The
kind of
voice?
the situation and the voice, and
Okay.
I know it's gonna be like insanely hard, but she's kind of like, maybe like Nesgrin has a point, or maybe like we could blow up the wall, or maybe just like. No matter, it's good. Like he knows what we're gonna do. It's like either way. Like I feel like it's a lose-lose. So she's not quite sure.
All right, hit me with that scrutinize at. Let's do
What
minus.
are you scrutinizing? Sorry, what are you
She's
scrutinizing?
thinking about what the voice said, and she's trying to glean more information from everything that's going on.
Mm-hmm.
Okay,
So let's do
so,
minus 20.
Can I assist?
Sure.
Yes.
This could be like a
trying-
debate between the two
Yeah,
of you.
We
There you
were
go.
debating this one, so
At
You
minus
guys
20.
debate. Me and Lillian are gonna go set up a bomb.
Yeah, we'll start setting the bomb charges.
Oh, if you can
Yeah.
load Nesgrin, I got us a 1 at least. Oh shit.
Dang.
They're
Can
stuck in a loop.
We're out of fortune points.
You are
Damn it.
entirely out.
We are asking for trouble.
So yeah, you guys kind of debate in a loop. this like idea of, is any choice the right choice? Is it actually free will? Is there something trapped here or present here? As Lillian and Nabeen take powder charges and begin loading them up into a corner and setting maybe like Nabeen is quite experienced with explosives, and so probably pouring powder into like a shaped charge kind of thing where Nabeen's like, I've blown up a bunch of walls before, like this will be sort of par for the course. And so Lillian and Nabeen return to the discussion to find that it has kind of gone nowhere, and have made their preparations. Does Hart have any? You hear all of this, and you maybe kind of have had a little bit more interaction with what's going on, and could, if you wanted, present Nesgrin with a little bit more of what has happened with you, but don't necessarily have to.
I am
As
gonna.
far as I don't know what you mean by that, Hunter.
So
I thought I knew what you meant, but then you said that last part.
The voice has spoken to you directly, or
right.
You have. So what happened in the portal room is the Prince of Change assisted you in projecting your emotions to Celine, which triggered the wards, and you were also the one to see the pattern, and the Prince of Change propositioned you with the idea
to
of telling your friends to figure it out. And really just, when you asked why, it said, because it would be funny. Like, the entire circumstance of being the fallen, like, villain of this entire group, having disgraced yourself in the eyes of your friends, literally lost your body, trapped in the extra brain space of Nesgrin, of all the people to figure out the solution and save the party, was you.
Yeah. But is that only because he's guiding me?
That is...
Or is this all just a play for time? Because there are already things in motion that we stand here with our hands in our pants, just doing nothing about.
There is a lot going on.
I want to grab the rat that I have in the jar. I'm going to kind of hold it up and be like, what do you think? Do we just walk out? There's that knowledge, that could tell us what's going on here, or should we blow up a wall?
Nesgrin, I think we need more information, because the prince has been helping me this entire time to figure out the patterns, to speak with you all, to project things to Celine. I think he's leading us down the path that he wants us to go. So I think you're right to be concerned. And you should tell Celine, and you should try to get more information from the miasma if you can.
We'll go. I know I'm right. I know I'm walking to a path.
And
into a trap. I know I'm walking to something else.
Neo's down by the fuse and just looks up at Lillian and says, say the word. She's not listening to the rest of you. And she does.
Don't do it.
She strikes her flint too late.
And
okay,
so
cool. So the rat doesn't get a moment. Celine bolts for the doors.
The big doors?
Yep.
Can I try and grab her?
So a lot of things happen at the same time.
Nesgrin, stop them. There's something wrong.
The
I will try to
fuse.
stop. I will try to stop Nab first because I will try to stop her because I really think this is a bad idea.
You're
Every idea is a
not-
bad idea.
Yeah, I know,
you're
but it's
not.
the worst idea.
You are not close enough to stop her, unfortunately. So she lights it as you're like running towards her.
Okay.
Celine looks at the rat and says, "What do you think?" And then sees that the fuse is burning down.
We're going in, buddy.
Nabeen runs over to where Lillian is. And so in my head, I will, on the map here, we can just very...
This is very interesting.
This is all playing out in slow motion. There's
yeah,
like
this is very...
early 2000s like orange filter over everything.
Yep.
We should place our where are we at? Because
So
we
you
keep
you
on
guys
that.
are basically
Yeah, we're on
where
the-
you should be.
Near the wall.
So I'll just clear some of this out real quick. You are...
Hey, we are leaving people behind.
I mean, nobody's really getting left behind yet.
Not now. So,
Oh, those
Corna.
guys. Yeah. They're with you. They've been following.
I know they're red
Mhm.
shirts, then they will die eventually.
they are
Corna is immortal, thank you.
yeah, they're
Kirk-
not red
Kirk
shirts.
will never let them.
They're
wish.
like
You
the
know, leave them-
opposite of red shirts.
Your brother is a red shirt for sure.
Okay. So we've got big double doors on the east side of the room here.
It's
That-
a bad idea.
That Celine is running towards. You've got
That's the worst idea.
a
That's the worst idea.
little door to the north that is your staircase, which was
The supposed exit.
presented as an exit without a test. And in the southern corner,
This one is without a test.
yeah,
That's a
Right.
test.
The double doors are the test. The
Yeah.
staircase is supposedly the way out.
Okay.
yeah, the
Now
exit
what we're
with-
really doing is the test without an exit.
And then down in the southern corner, the explosives have been set, presumably just like against the wall right here. That little circle. And so we've
How
got
many? Did we do all of them?
all three.
Mm,
I
okay.
assume unless there was
If that's what Nab had, I don't know how many of them Nab had.
I don't know.
I
if we
had at
all
least one.
but-
We each
So-
had one. So if you gave yours to her,
yeah.
I already used mine to set up
Yeah,
the trap.
So Lillian didn't have hers, but I presume could have easily taken Celine's or something like that.
I mean, Celine would like to keep hers unless they're gonna forcibly take it.
I'm not
We've
gonna
already
force
seen one charge
it.
take down a whole wall
Yeah.
when
Yeah.
Hart blew that
So I
cell,
feel
so
pretty
one is
confident.
fine.
There you
Okay.
go.
And so Hart isn't technically here, but is overlapping with
Mrs. Nesgrin.
Mrs. Nesgrin.
Yes.
And
Hunter,
so
now that you're gonna be a fancy teacher guy, you should have that be the way you introduce yourself to your students. That you are,
I'm Mr. Nedland.
yeah.
So
That's how you get respect.
hmm
Nabeen
Also wear a Buzz Lightyear costume.
Correct.
Nabeen retreats to where Nesgrin is running towards her to stop the lighting of the fuse. Celine, in a move like very similar to what happened in Seoul Tower that had no consequences at all, rushes to make a hasty decision without considering the rest of the group.
I try to tackle Celine since I'm
Look,
running that
everybody
way.
is trying to do their own thing here, so
Yeah, yeah.
Celine's doing
Yeah.
her own thing too.
And Nab is trying to stop you.
Yeah. Oh, I get that.
And so, in the last 5 minutes of this episode,
Oh no.
Celine pushes against the doors as Nabeen turns away from the bomb and is like, all right, the bomb's good. Sees Lillian running for the door with a jarred rat in hand. Thinks,
Celine.
certainly nothing bad can happen from this. Tries to tackle her. And the bomb explodes. And
That's a very short fuse.
I mean, this is like in the span of 3 seconds or whatever.
Very cinematic.
Yeah. It's the perfect length to be cool looking.
Yeah. And
It was not calculated very well.
the double doors creak open Dark Souls style as Celine and Nabeen fall into the space behind them. The bomb blows the wall outward and sunlight pours in through the stone dust and debris that rolls into the room. And you are presented now with 3 options. Ahead of you, to the east through the double doors, is a sanctuary. Looking into it, as you all turn to look through the double doors, it's vertigo-inducing. It is as if someone took a regular church sanctuary and held it on both ends, so the double door end and the end where the altar would be, and twisted it like a corkscrew. The ground...
Legend of Zelda, Temple of the Lost Woods.
Exactly. The ground flows in a spiral. The pews are in a wave over to the ceiling, along the wall. And there are pink candles with blue flames floating attached to pews and down where there is a triple altar, one sort of on the ground and 2 suspended in this spiraled ceiling and floor mixture. Floating in the air between the 3 altars is a large, pink, fleshy humanoid in the fetal position.
Named Charles Buckley.
What? Again?
A large, fleshy, pink humanoid curled up in the fetal position. The smoke from the candles, it's not Kirby, drifts in a spiral following the shape of the sanctuary. And as the doors finally creak open and the wash of smoke and dust from the explosion rolls through the narthex into the sanctuary, the curled humanoid rotates slowly to face you, uncurls itself, and it is... I won't delete this because it's very cute, but I am going to move it just briefly.
Stab, shoot it.
Demon Kirby.
Oh, wait, I can't... Why can't I grab it?
Shoot it.
It is down. Oh, wait. I'm taking its details instead of the whole thing. Okay.
And
let
it
me-
looks at us and it says, "Hi,
Hi.
Why
Are
can't
you
I
ready
also?
to die?
are you ready to die?"
Okay, here we go. This was
That's
on a different
Kirby.
layer.
Demon Kirby.
Okay, Demon Kirby floats into the sky,
Oh no.
and what unfolds itself before you
Oh, how vile.
is
Yikes.
a 9-foot
Hey.
tall, naked,
Lady Dimitrescu.
pudgy, cherubesque looking, like with sort of baby proportions, long, spindly arms that end in dark colored claws.
It's the baby from Resident Evil 8. Got it.
It opens its 4 blue, all blue eyes, smiles the widest Cheshire cat smile, lined with sharp teeth.
I immediately slaps Celine.
Celine,
I hate it.
you look up and you recognize what this is from your readings and your studies. This is a scion of the Prince of Change. It is known as an adversary demon, and it floats down to stand upon the altar, and it says, "Come face your test."
It's a hell of a test.
Kill the
And
demon baby!
that is where
I
this
wanna
episode will
know,
end.
how is the rat reacting in the jar right now, since I see it like near me on the floor?
Spinning orbits around the jar in a frenzy.
Trying to get the fuck out.
Yep.
No, don't
Poor
blow
guy.
up the wall so we can escape, Nab and Lillian. We gotta go through these doors.
Hey, so
and I
he
will
was ready
say-
to take this thing up, do this alone.
I will
Alright.
say that the
Bye.
the door to the north remains open. It is a staircase up, and presumably I'll bring you back to the map here, and we can all look.
I will look through the hole that Nap made and see what I can see.
So Shadow Castle is right here, right?
Yeah.
And you are in this southern part, right?
Yeah.
And so that staircase to the north presumably would take you to this other part of Shadow Castle. And so before we wrap up, you say you take a look out the hole as the smoke and debris clears.
Yeah.
It is outside. It's the snow whipped peak of the mountain that you were on. They've made a crumbling, ragged hole in the side of the wall of Shadow Castle. And so that's where we will end for tonight.
Well done, Celine.
You're welcome.
Damn, so
I'm
door
here
number
to
3 was
find
the
out
right
what's
choice.
going on.
So the implication that all of you gather from looking into the sanctuary is that it is some kind of temple to the Prince of Change. Presumably has been here for a very long time, and your final test awaits you at the end of the sanctuary, or there are 2 other options now to take.
We kill this demon, we can destroy the castle or burn everything inside. See, no more Temple of the Change.
Yeah.
I know that's not the only option that I have, because the alternative is to release a scion of the Prince of Change into the world.
You know
Yeah,
it's gonna come out. For all you know, it could have come out at any time.
I'm
told you
sure
not to do it.
I'm sure the demon of the Prince of Change is just gonna chill.
Where are your
Yeah.
wolves coming
Demons
for
don't make
retribution for
sense.
liberating the
Oh yeah,
scion
go
of the
ahead.
Prince of
Can we
Change?
roll? Can we
Oh
roll?
yeah, we can roll real quick.
as the wolves come in through the outside hole that you guys just made to kill us from behind. It's fine, guys.
No wolves this time.
No, but they're coming.
Is
Yeah.
it? It's a D6, right? Not a
Yeah.
D10.
No, I rolled for corruption.
Oh, for corruption.
Yeah. And so yeah, the Cody rolled his dice for checking if a wolf enters in what may be combat next episode, and the one determines that there will not be a wolf.
Wait, it is chaos dice?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because you could flip it.
I
That's
actually because we have all six
All
as
6? Yeah.
I will flip
You
it
have
to
to
a
re-roll it
6.
though, right?
No, I can
you
just,
just get a-
set
you
it
just
to
get to
a
do it?
6.
Is it
And
an
so-
actual chaos dice or is it just a?
It is. It does say chaos dice.
Oh man, that's
So-
it's a 6.
Yeah.
Then we definitely can't fight it.
So from
A silver warg and this demon.
Well, maybe the silver walk sent by your god will kill the Prince of Chains.
It's gonna kill
Iron.
me.
Well, see?
So from the
Just this
ragged
much.
hole in the castle wall, off into the distance, you hear the unnatural, almost human-like scream howl of
I want to
a
point out this is Nacho's fault for pointing this out to Hunter.
yeah.
It
I mean,
would have
I,
had to happen next episode.
yeah, I probably would have done it next episode anyway. And so something is afoot towards you from the mountains, this high, inhospitable range. A silverback warg is coming to join the fray.
You need to find some howling sounds for the next episode.
I
Oh,
can,
yeah.
yeah. I thought I
You
had
can
a,
add the-
a sound effect because I thought I used one earlier when you guys were in Perswell, but I maybe didn't. Well, thank you for watching another episode of Scarlet Sash Stories. The Sash bearers continue to fracture amongst themselves. The strains of saving, I guess not really the world, but saving the orcs race, presumably, is weighing
I'm getting
upon
knowledge
them.
to help us do that, hopefully.
I'm sure it'll be good, honest knowledge.
And so we will pick up next Friday, presumably, unless there are any immediate conflicts, for episode 35 of Scarlet Sash Stories. Thank you for watching. We love you. Fiends and Friends, our personal channel where we do a bunch of other TTRPG content, is beginning to ramp back up after our long June and July hiatus. We will be bringing back all of your favorite shows that are world famous.
World-renowned
Yeah.
television series.
Forbidden Frontier, our D&D 5th edition Weird Western campaign is starting back up. Our Dragon Age RPG campaign will begin this coming Saturday. Episode 1. And then
way more well known and popular than those. What are those? Deception 20? What are those guys called?
yeah. Losers.
Critical Bowl, bunch
Yeah.
of potheads.
Critical bore, if you ask me.
Critical bullshit.
And
We're just kidding. We love you.
yeah,
Anniversary show.
Not true. They all hate you. I love you. I would be on your show if you asked me. I'm just saying.
Heartbeat.
Brennan, if you're watching this, I want to get married.
Our variety show known as Fleeting Fiends will be beginning to air again soon, probably in August. And yeah, so check us out. Follow this channel. Follow us at Fiends and Friends, and we will see you next time. Bye-bye.
Bye.